but then still talk about like hanging out with little kids and shit. Like he's like, he trolls too when he does it.
Yeah. He said the pizza
He'll be
party
like-
thing. Someone sent me one today where he's like, shit.
Yeah.
He's all, I heard you want to have a pizza party. It's like, oh my God, dude.
Or even when he went into his teeth fixed, where he literally was like, yeah, I got the exact same teeth as that bad guy, so I'm going to fix them so people don't think I'm him.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
Okay.
right after that went viral, that his teeth matched. And it's like, that's the thing is, I feel like people, when they look at the teeth comparison, they're looking at the wrong thing. And I couldn't figure out how they weren't seeing it, but I understand now, is they were looking at the top of the teeth, because they definitely had them shaved down a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
But the way you have to compare them is like, there's 6 teeth, and it's like, are they forward or backwards or middle? And they are all exactly the same. Back, forward,
I missed this at first when I did my episode on it, but I did another side by side, and I was looking at, and I actually started looking at the freckles in his face. I don't know if you've ever done this.
I haven't.
Bro. You start to look at the freckles and the skin marks. They're exactly the same. I mean, like, those are things you can't get rid of with your face.
Yeah.
Like they're minor, they're hard to see at first, but when you start to like really look at them, you're like, dude, what the fuck? He has the exact same like freckled marks and sunspots in like his forehead and his up through his nose and everything. Like, no difference. There's not like, there's actually one here, but there's not in this other picture. They're 100% the same.
That's like, So now I'm at 99 again.
Yeah.
Do you know what's crazy? Send it to me, please. What's crazy to watch too?
Two of them side by side.
I want it, dude. Yeah, but it's just like how now it's become much more acceptable for people to say like that he might be alive, because like Sean Ryan, the guy, what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name. Who just was on Sean Ryan, and they're doing that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. My audience was saying that episode's really good.
It seems like he's trying to put like a bounty on finding him, which is one of those things where I'm like, nope, not don't attach my name to that. I'm covering things that he puts out. I'm not doing any deep dives. I'm not putting bounties on him. Like, I don't want beef with these people at all, dude. I'm pointing out what he has already put out. And like, like I'm not trying to break any stories. And I sure as hell am not trying to put bounties on these guys. Like they're so scary. They're terrifying. And if you're not afraid of them and you think that you understand who these people are, you don't understand who they are if you're not afraid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what we talked about to the audience. Me and Jesse talked about that before, about exposing Palm Beach Pete. And we're like, we're probably not going to go like that deep into this. Because you don't want to like actually find something that proves it. And they're like, nah, this guy's got to go.
Or look like you're, But what I was going to say is like, now people are kind of like, it does make sense. Like, he probably is alive. And you're like, and I think it's this guy. And they're like, get out of here. It's not, they're so resistant. And you're like, guys, if this should be the easiest jump, like if you think that he could have gotten away with like faking his death, him just being right there is a way smaller jump than, don't you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, again, like to your point, everybody believes he's alive. Like 99% of people believe Epstein is still alive. They don't believe that he hung himself. I mean, I showed this before. I've had this car freshener, and it says Epstein, this air freshener didn't hang itself, right? Like, I've had this since 2020, dude, in my car, right? Like, nobody's believed this since it happened. But to your point, it's like that nobody believes that he's dead. But when you show his literal twin that sounds exactly like him with the same teeth and the same everything, literally in Palm Beach, and is rich and is like literally hanging out at Mar-a-Lago, people are like, there's no way. And you're like, I don't know. Like, he's taking pictures from like Epstein's beach house, like the exact same pictures that Epstein took. Yeah, and you're just like, all right, whatever. Yeah. Now, hey, okay, let's get back over to TPUSA. I don't know if you've seen this, but the UFC posted. You probably have seen this. The ring girls' outfits. Did you see?
Oh no, I have not seen that. No.
So the UFC posted what the ring girl outfits are going to be. Let me pull these up here. And a lot of people are like, for one, okay, whatever, man. Let's see if I can zoom these in. They're ugly. They look like shit. It is what it is. Who cares? Like, I don't care about the ring girl outfits, right? Yeah. But a lot of people are like, why the fuck is Turning Point posting pictures of women in like mini skirted sexual outfits with their tits out?
Yeah.
When then it's down here. Charlie Kirk, my message to young women. It is unspeakably unattractive to brag about how many men you've slept with. Be a godly woman who is willing to submit to your husband, who is likewise willing to submit to Almighty God. Dress modestly. Stop plastering your body all over social media.
Yeah.
And then Turning Point USA is posting this shit. And you're just like, dude, at some, like, I don't have a problem with that. Whatever. That's not my thing to be offended by, right? I'm not an evangelical.
Totally.
I don't care. But Charlie was, and he was that's his company. And like, would Charlie be posting pictures of girls in slutty outfits talking about how awesome it is? He'd be like,
Did you ever see James O'Keefe's coverage? I think it was James O'Keefe. I don't know. Someone that showed the after parties for like we're talking years ago, Amfest. And they had like a girl in a big shot glass who's like dancing around with an American flag, and she's like half stripping. And I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. I'm like, this is it. That's weird to me. Like that's bordering on like weird, almost like behind the scenes Pizzagate shit. Obviously not that level, but I'm like, that's so egregious in terms of what this is supposed to be front facing versus what they're doing behind. Like that's weird to me, especially the flag, really, on a like wrapping the flag around a stripper chick in a shot glass. Like, isn't that, I mean, like, it's wild.
I mean, again, like, not something I care about. Like, you know,
no, me neither.
I don't want to see my daughter doing that. But like, at the same time, I'm not running an evangelical Christian nonprofit.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so like, you know, I'm a fucking retard covered in tattoos. So people would expect that from me. But, you know, now I know you've seen this, but I don't know if all the audience has seen it. And so I want to show, this as we're talking about the Epstein connection.
Oh.
So if you guys haven't seen this is Erica Kirk, again, I don't know, another speaking event. And she got heckled pretty brutally. Let's take a watch.
To remember that happiness comes and goes. It is so fleeting. But the joy of the Lord withstands all.
Her face. But she just can't be a normal fucking person. Listen, this is her response.
It's important to remember that happiness comes and goes, and I pray that you find it.
It's like, dude, why you can't just laugh that off? She gets a scowl. She gets the Erica Kirk scowl. It's important that happiness comes and goes, and I hope you find it, to that woman that's heckling her. And it's just like, this is what makes you so unlikable, you know? Like, you got to be able to laugh shit like that off when you're getting heckled.
You have to, especially if you're in a position like that. But like, man, can you imagine being married to Erica and she's like, did you do X, Y, Z? And you're like, yeah, I'll do it right after this. And she peeks in and gives you that look. You're like, oh.
With the eyes.
All right, I'll do it now. Fine.
Yeah, around the corner with the crazy eyes.
I'll just do that so you won't look at me like that anymore.
All right, let's jump into. You want to talk a little bit about the Iran war while you're on here?
Yeah, but I was going to say real super quick on
No, you're good, man. We don't need it. We don't got to move on if you got something else you want to talk about.
The only thing I was going to bring up is the news story. I'm going to cover this in a second. I got to film some stuff in a little while but like, it came out today in the Tyler Robinson trial that they gave immunity to Lance Twiggs. Like, he's like,
yeah. We do need to talk about that
that is wild because. I mean, I don't have any idea. I'm basically at the place now where I'm like, I don't know what to think about anything. But what I would certainly say is that the easiest defense of Tyler Robinson has always been to point the finger at Lance Twiggs, because all of their evidence, every single piece of their evidence, it could have been done by Lance Twiggs, and Lance Twiggs has a history of violence.
100%.
It's like he's a much more likely person to have done this than Tyler Robinson, and he had access to his Discord. He could have been doing the text message thread to himself and then went and deleted them or whatever on Tyler's phone. You know, like he very easily could have set up Tyler in every possible way.
And they give him immunity. Jesse, though, hold on, before you move on past that, that's very important what you just said about the Discord messages, because that's been a big part of this, right?
Yeah.
I don't think people realize, like, I use Discord, right? I've got it on my
Me too.
PC. If you're into PC gaming, you're using Discord. That is the chat function that most people use to talk to their buddies. The thing is, like, my PC here at my house, because Lance and Tyler live together, my gaming PC, you can log right into this. You click Discord, it's my account's already logged in,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
So you could come to my house, get on my computer, and start messaging from my Discord without any problems. So you, like, to your point, this isn't like something crazy like he had to have Tyler's login information and like go through all these. No, he literally just could have jumped on his gaming PC and just started sending messages.
Exactly.
You know, so I think that's really important. And to your point, I've always thought Lance, if you would have told me that Lance was the one that did this, and I learned all, like, the Turkey Tom video and all of his bio and his insanity and like all the stuff that went into it is obviously like psychotic delusions, I would have been far more apt to be like, oh, this kid kind of seems like he probably would fucking have done this, right?
Yeah.
But like Tyler, his bio never made sense, whereas Lance's, you're like, it's this kid. It's probably this kid. And now they're going to give full immunity to the kid I think is more involved than Tyler is.
Yeah.
Of course.
And even if Tyler did it, it's like the likelihood that the conversation that he had with Lance, let's just say Tyler did do it, was him covering for Lance versus it being a genuine conversation is 100 times more likely than him just randomly confessing to. And even then, I can't even have a hypothetical about that because that text conversation is so scripted on the nose to mention the specific pieces of evidence that have been recovered that it makes no sense. He's not, Tyler Robinson doesn't know exactly what they have, and yet somehow in the text thread he's like, remember when I did it's like, it's so dumb. Remember when I was writing on the bullets? Who the fuck would say that, dude?
Yeah. In a text message, like, my love. And he's talking like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? Smeagol, my love, right? Like Smeagol talking to Gollum. Yeah. We're just like, okay, I don't know about this. Now, how crazy, right? And we have seen things like this happen before in cases where immunity has been given to the person who actually committed the crime.
Yeah.
And there's like some nuanced stories about this, that people have gotten off on crimes because the person who has immunity admitted in the courtroom, no, I'm the one that killed him. And they have full immunity, which means they cannot be prosecuted for anything that they admit to in that courtroom. So Lance Twiggs could come out and say in that courtroom, I did it. And
my love,
the case is over.
This chapter together.
There's nothing they can do because he's provided full immunity. And then Tyler would walk.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. That
no, I know.
That's
so crazy.
Day one of the trial, he walks up there. Prosecution thinks that he's about to like tell everything on Tyler, and he was like, "Hey, by the way, I did it."
All the prep work that they did like, here's what they're going to cross-examine you on. Here's this first question to the prosecution. He's like, I'm just going to save everybody a lot of time and effort. I killed Charlie.
Yeah, and he would
have full
immunity.
Yeah.
He would face no charges, which, I mean, who knows what happens. But so what are we going to see out of that from Lance Twiggs' testimony, right?
It is impossible to know.
Especially given who he is. And again, a lot of people, and to my point, like, I don't think that this means Lance Twiggs carried this out by himself as a lone gunman. But what I do think is that Lance Twiggs is far more of an MK Ultra specimen, right, that you would expect to be used as like a patsy. You know what I mean? Given his mental history, his mental issue history.
This is a crazy piece of information that I've never had it's like one of these things that's like circumstantial and not quite solid enough for you to connect to any individual story. But as of this moment right now is the first time I can bring it up. And like, I've known about this, Barron has known about this because we've talked about it, but like Lance Twiggs' mom graduated from the Stanford psychology program, like the same one that had the Stanford prison experiment. Like that's the program that Lance Twiggs' mother graduated from. And so
this is like every one of them. The Aurora shooter, right? His dad was like part of he was in, I believe, the FBI and was part of some big PSYOP program. It's
That the guy
almost
that
like
went into the Batman movie? Is that who you're that guy? Yeah.
so many of these kids that end up being mass shooters just coincidentally have parents that are usually tied into FBI, CIA, or different programs like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, just another what a
weird thing.
coincidence. What a
Yeah.
coincidence. You know, the crazy kid who looks like he's probably involved, mom just happened to be a part of, you know, psyop mental control experiments.
She got her master's in psyops, dude. The other thing that's two other things that I would just bring up right out of the gate that are very bizarre about him is that number one is he's presented to us as being trans, but then when they show him now removed, 6-7 months from the case, and he doesn't mean to get photographed. He's like gruffy, like hair grown out, like hiding some other town. And you're like, I thought this dude's like girl trans. And his TikTok account, I went through every single post of his. There was not a single comment that was before September 10th visible at all. I went through every single one. And then after I did the video on it, all of a sudden there were like two that popped up that were from before 9/10. They definitely were not there before. And then now they were there. So, I mean, he's almost looks like a fake, like a manufactured person. And there's also no record of Lance Twiggs like on these documents. You can find everybody else from the Twiggs family, but he's very hard to find any record of.
Well, it's like Michael Crooks, dude.
Yeah.
Like there's just no digital record of that kid at all, even though he's a Gen Z kid. And you're like, and we know that Trump shut down the investigation. You're like, dude.
If you had like gun to your head, why did Trump shut that investigation down?
Well, for one, I don't believe that Trump was shot. I mean, sorry, I can look at his ear.
So you think the whole thing's fake? Like
so I don't necessarily think that I'm not sure of, right? I don't think necessarily the whole thing is fake. I do think there's a couple possibilities. One, they use it as a giant PR stunt. There's a lot of, when you look at the actual videos of like the Secret Service running and getting the camera people and getting them into position, the flag being lowered into frame, like all of those things scream PR stunt. But, I believe 2 people were killed, right? Or
one for sure.
I know the firefighter was.
I think some other people were hit but not killed. I think that guy.
So that I believe it probably happened. So what I think is it's either a PR stunt, or 2 was a warning to Donald Trump. Here's your fucking one warning. Mm-hmm. You're going to elect JD Vance 48 hours from now, and you're going to do whatever the fuck we tell you to do, which kind of makes his second term start to make a little bit more sense with the Adelsons and doing everything for Israel and all the America Last policies. JD Vance never made sense as a choice because, JD Vance and Trump hate each other. Obviously, JD Vance was the biggest never Trumper ever. And then out of nowhere, he gets chosen. Literally, if people don't remember this, 48 hours after Trump and Butler is when Trump announced JD Vance was the candidate right after. And we know the connections there with, Palantir, small tech and all that. So I don't know. The one thing I don't believe is that it was some organic, this the lone gunman, furry, whatever the fuck, Thomas Crooks, who decides he's going to be the hero of the day. I don't believe that for a second. But I don't know if it was a setup, staged, a warning. What about you? What do you think on looking at everything we've seen so far?
I mean, because
you covered this extensively when it happened. You have some
and my coverage was all just about how I was like, there is no way that this one guy could. There's no way. This is the very first, and I heard the new director of the Secret Service say this into a microphone. They had never had counter snipers on Trump's team ever before that day. The very first one. CNN was live streaming a Trump rally for the very first time ever also. And then you had that woman who, and this is what got me on the list, that this is where my reach had it was like identified. And then my reach was on this video that I did where I showed right when he got shot. So some woman popped up immediately right behind him and was filming. And it was like, okay, clearly she must have been there specifically to capture the immediate aftermath because she's not afraid and she's right there. And she just popped up like, hi, I'm not afraid. Somebody's shooting and I'm good. And I don't know. There's just so much stuff there that was like, I never really had any hard conclusions aside from that. I can conclude there's a lot more going on. Like this is a lot of smoke right here that I never really, like when people first were saying that they thought Butler was fake, like right out of the gate, I thought that was the craziest thing ever. And now, Alex Jones is having me on Tuesday for me to talk about how I think Charlie Kirk's thing is fake, dude. It's like,
we've come a long way, man.
Yeah.
It's just everything's so fake and gay now that it's just like it's. But again, they pushed us here, man. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm like, for me, when the Trump assassination happened, I covered it from the tactical realm at the time. But again, I thought at the time I was like, this is so bizarre. I covered it in my video. This is so bizarre. How the fuck does this kid just climb up onto this roof from 100 meters away? Nobody sees him, even though they have counter snipers who literally pointing their guns right at him. They just let him take the shots, by the way. Like none of that. Cause we do physical POTUS, VPOTUS security as Green Berets. Like, and so we understand physical security very, very well. The other thing that you just said there, and this is the thing that I always look for in these assassination attempts, is what you say is the people who aren't scared. Yeah. The people with the cameras who are just like standing there, no big deal. And the reason why they're always in the perfect spot for it. We saw this at the White House Correspondents' Dinner of the guy on the far right. It all kicks off and he just sits there with his phone like this, filming Trump and Vance. As everybody's screaming, he doesn't even care. He's just like this. And then his video from his phone is the very first one that gets put out on all the mainstream media outlets, right? Like 6 minutes later. So whenever I see that, as someone who has been in gunfights and been in near ambush, the craziest shit ever, I've seen the toughest fucking dudes ever that are good at gunfighting and are conditioned to being shot at do not act that way when bullets are cracking by your fucking face. Everyone gets down, dude. Like everyone is going to get to a position of cover. They're like, your natural instinct is to not get shot in the face. That's not something you can change. It's not something you can like just in the moment be like, well, no big deal. I don't mind if I get shot in the face here.
Yeah.
Everyone does that. And so when I see, like you said, someone like that woman who's just like, I'm good, bro, just standing there with the phone as gunshots are ringing off, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
That always, and they have a camera and that footage is immediately like put out to the public. You're just like,
I
don't know.
And that woman too, I like my hypothesis was always that like, so I always thought that what that was they had tried every other thing to derail and this was like, finally they were like, we're going to take this off ourselves. And I think that assuming that it was real, they wanted to shoot him in the head and then have a absolutely perfect camera view of him dead that they could then put out. So it's like, all of you guys, your guy is done with. This whole thing you guys are doing is over. Like that. Yeah. That was my hypothesis on why. But to your point, it's like, well, I have two. First, I will just say that's what I also look for, just because there's only a handful of things that everyone will behave the same in that situation, and everyone is immediately terrified when faced with themselves getting violently killed. And so like someone is calm.
The most human reaction ever.
It's unavoidable. But I was going to ask you this. So like just going back to the Butler thing, like if you were in charge of Trump security, would it not be correct to say that the most obvious place that you would absolutely have eyeballs on would have been the exact roof that Thomas Crooks was on?
I covered that in my breakdown. And literally, I was like, this is the one spot I would make sure that I had eyes on. Now, personally, I would have had physical security at that location.
Yeah.
Right. Which supposedly there was a cop there, but he was like one floor below or something like that. But no, your biggest thing at an outdoor event, you're always looking for a line of sight to the stage or to whoever you're protecting is. And you're looking at every vantage point. Okay. So in that case, there was a building, the only building in the entire area where he could have taken that shot from was the place he took the shot from. And there just happened to be nobody there and nobody watching that, even though you had counter snipers. Literally, like there was nowhere else for those counter snipers to really be looking other than like, you do need to pan the crowd, right?
Yeah.
But again, keep in mind, if you're a counter sniper, the crowd, the odds you're going to take a shot into the crowd is almost impossible, right? Let's say something happens. There's a gunman in the crowd. Like the counter sniper is most likely not going to try to take that shot because there's going to be people running everywhere. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be
someone will hopefully tackle him too, or something.
Right, and you're gonna have on the ground security that's gonna take that. The counter snipers are there to take out. That's why they're called counter snipers, right?
Yeah.
To counter the sniping threat.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be looking for vantage points and things like that. So the Charlie Kirk venue was the same way, of where I said, how the fuck do you not have anybody overlooking the elevated vantage points with perfect line of sight down to the stage, right? Yeah. And so that's another one where you're like, you just now again, Brian Harpool tried to explain it away on Sean Ryan of like, oh, we asked the cops to, and then they just didn't put anybody there. And it's like, okay, well, first of all, you need to be not running a security detail or a security company, because it's not the police officer's responsibility to keep your clients alive.
You didn't verify whether they had somebody up there. You just like, they said,
right?
Hey, 2 weeks ago, they said they were going to put someone up there, dude.
Right.
So
he gave me a thumbs up in my text message 2 weeks beforehand, right? That's what he said. That's what he did. He showed the text, right? Yeah,
that was his proof, was a thumbs up to a.
Yes, it was he said a text, and he said, I got you, with a thumbs up. But like 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the event. And it was like, dude, you have, like, we have a saying in the military called trust but verify.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to assume you did your job, but I'm going to verify that you did your fucking job always in high critical situations like this.
Yeah.
And so again, that's another thing, is like, how do we keep having these situations in these high profile assassination attempts where the most obvious spot for security to be, looking for a threat just happens to not being covered?
Yeah.
And that's just happens to be the perfect spot where both of these shooters just figured out, like Thomas Crooks just figured out the perfect spot to be. Tyler Robinson just somehow knew the perfect spot to be. And you're like, dude, maybe these 22-year-old kids like map this out. Like, I'm sorry, it's tough for me to believe, right? That they're psychic, perfect. Tyler Robinson's got the perfect infill, exfil, egress routes. He's got everything mapped out. He gets exactly where he needs to be, to the perfect spot with the perfect vantage point. How he even knows where Charlie's going to be exactly beforehand, like all those things you have to add into the equation of when you're planning. Because planning an assassination attempt is much like planning the tactical realm of a military operation, right? You're going in to take out a target. So I looked at it from very first day. I think it was day 2. I put out the video, "The FBI is lying." Like, that was my day 2 video. I think it was the first person.
I'm sure I clicked on that. Yeah.
I think I was the very first person to like really put that forward the very next day, because I looked at it from the realm of somebody who would have planned this out myself. And I'm like, I thought it was a professional hit right out the gate. I did a whole video where I'm like, this looks like a professional hit to me. Here's why. And I talked about all the different things that the shooter would have, thought of. Because again, he got away, right? Like he infilled, took a successful shot, exfilled, fucking nobody found him for days later. And the only reason he got found is because the sheriff friend somehow recognized him from the grainy AI shitty vote video. Like, that never made sense. But
his mom recognized him in a picture that everybody has eyeballs. They're all, that looks nothing like him.
Yes, right. But but somehow he gets recognized. But anyway, I was like, dude, it's incredibly successful. Other than the back end of it, because I figured after, what was it, like 48 hours, I was like, oh, they'll never find him. They will never fucking find this guy, because this looked professional. He's in, he's out. He took him out. He's probably back in fucking Tel Aviv or Egypt or wherever the fuck, right? Kazakhstan or fucking France. I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, and then we find out later it's again, this 22-year-old dipshit kid who's into Magic the Gathering and video games, who pulled off like the most miraculous, successful assassination attempt in American history, right? This like dipshit 22-year-old like transferee kid. And you're just like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to believe that. But me, as somebody who did this type of thing for a living, is just like, I look at it from that lens, and I'm like, there's no fucking way, dude. There's no way these fucking kids, dude. Because also, Jesse, like, think about a jiu-jitsu competition or, you know, mixed martial arts competition you're going to, think about like how nervous you are beforehand, right?
Oh, paralyzed. Oh, I mean, not paralyzed, but very, very nervous. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, like anything high stress, high competitive, think
Yeah.
about that. Now think about that times 10, because you're going into an environment where you're going to kill someone and you most likely are going to get killed doing it.
And
Now,
you've never done it
fact,
before.
You've never done it before.
Yeah.
You have no experience. You're 22 years old. You've got no life experience, but yet you factor all of those things in together. But yet he gets in, gets out, clean, fucking perfect shot, gets away, and then just happens to, you know, on the back end get caught. And you're like, you look at all that and you're just like, I'm sorry. But
in, out, successful shot from that distance with all that distraction, all that reason to get. So he's calm, collected, but then on the backside, he somehow is like, gosh, I hope they don't get my fingerprints. And you're also, why did
on
you
my
wear gloves?
gun that I reassembled and left in the chicken coop of a house owned by Palantir.
Yeah.
By the way,
that's true, huh? About the Palantir house?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, and then I heard
there's like 12 homes that some like agency that's connected to them owned in the area or something like that.
And well, and that governor, God, how do I always forget this guy's name? The governor, governor candidate that was like, where he's like Phil Lyman, where Phil, I heard
Lyman.
that Phil Lyman was connected to the house that captured him.
Yes,
walking
he
on
owned the
street.
house. He owns the house that the video camera footage came from of Tyler walking in front of.
That's
it's just coincidences, dude.
Yeah.
There's just a million coincidences that we're supposed to believe, right?
It's just so weird. Like there's so many people and so many problems all the way along where you're like, this is so weird.
You know what I've wanted to do, and I haven't had the drive to do it yet, is like sit down and like start to finish the whole case of all of the fucking weird shit, right? So everything we just talked about, and then like think about how many things we didn't even talk about. The bomb dogs, George Zinn,
oh my gosh.
fucking what's our guy with the curly hair that turns around?
Yeah,
we talked about not acting correctly in the situation that you're supposed to act, turning around, laughing, cheering while the gunshots are coming straight at you.
And then either you know, like interacting with like terror cells, or he's just crazy and I have absolutely no idea on the internet.
But we'd have to sit down, probably all of us together, and like map these things out. But think about this, like what are some other ones? The fact that the sheriff's department just happened to accidentally lose the footage of Tyler Robinson coming in when he was detained. The fact that the note that was put under Lance Twiggs' keyboard that the FBI had used to tell us he admitted to it just happened to be destroyed.
It was destroyed.
Right?
And then they said that Lance Twiggs took a photo. I mean, I think that what they're indicating is that Lance had a photograph of it on his phone, and you're like, so he burned it, but then took a picture of it. So like, I mean, he might be an actual retard. That would explain. But yeah, I remember like when I was doing
Hunter. Somebody just said Hunter Kozak. Like there's
fucking Kozak.
There's 1,000 of these, dude.
It's
like
endless.
I'm sorry.
How about Snake Eyes? The Snake Eyes movie and all that stuff that you're like, wait, his name's Charles Kirkland, and he gets killed on 9/10, shot in the exact same spot in the neck. And
we didn't talk about the ballistics. The
30-06
the security team. The fact there's no blood on anybody's hands.
Yeah.
Like there's, you know, all the weird shit TPUSA is doing. Mikey McCoy's fucking bizarre behavior. Like,
and
you actually
up on the wall. Terrell Farnsworth up on the wall. And they shot Charlie. He's dead.
When you actually sit here and start going through it, you're like, dude, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Right? The FBI narrative becomes. And that we didn't even get into the FBI's behavior. Yeah. Right. The FBI's behavior of shutting down Joe Kent, the National Counterterrorism Center, and shutting down the CIA from looking into federal or foreign involvement. Like we could sit here for an hour just like remembering stupid shit that doesn't make any sense, you know?
Yeah.
And that's not even getting into like the PPUSA side of things and how sketchy all their like everything there is, you know? So it's just
Tyler Robinson at that you know, at Dairy Queen or whatever, right afterwards.
Yeah, Dairy Queen.
Then there's a picture behind him of a movie that was out like 8 months before that.
And then that Dairy Queen is empty like 3 days later, dude. Yeah. There was nothing inside the Dairy Queen.
Hey, they ripped up the grounds and then cemented over it like 24 hours later.
A day later, you know, again. So it's like we could, that's why I eventually want to like sit down and do that episode to where it's like, we're going to go through every single, but it's going to take me days to put all that together. So
I guarantee, like, the easiest way to do it is just to go back to content that was made back then, just because it's so crazy. Like, just I stumbled onto stuff that I was like, man, I completely forgot about this. Like, I mean, like, forgot completely. And then you're like, oh yeah. And so that might be it's just endless.
Well, I can see the chat is like just throwing out ones.
Yeah.
As well. So it's like, that might be a way to do it too, is do it as like a live where like you use the chat too, because they watch all the content, you know what I mean? So
Jesse
changes his clothes 1,000 times, you know?
Yeah,
so
yeah. Reassembles the gun, and then wasn't there a picture that had the scope on backwards or something? Like, or is that
not on backwards, but it's way too far back on the gun. It's like 4 inches too far back on the gun from where it should be as well.
Yeah.
But also that's not the gun. That's a fake. Yeah. That's a fake picture of the gun, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Mauser, like they're all. It's a Mauser, whatever. Like this is not that one at all. And they said that they identified. That's right. The parents, they wanted to see the rifle because they recognized this very unique World War II Mauser, and that's not even the picture of the real gun.
So you know that the parents didn't recognize the gun because it's not the fucking gun. It's not even their gun. But that was what we got. And then here's some more. The sheriff's department. The fact that the head fucking sheriff just happened to resign literally 2 hours after the ATF report came out that the ballistics don't match.
Yeah, that was like the same day. Huh?
Literally 2 hours. It was the same night. That story dropped, and 2 hours later he resigned.
Dude, I read today that the judge almost put the prosecutor in contempt over something, and I didn't even see. Did you see that story? I didn't see why.
No, but I mean, again, dude, like you start to add all of that up, and you're like, dude, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What if they really were at Fort Huachuca too, dude? Like, it's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, that one is, again, for me. If you told, here's the thing. Here's what what a lot of people don't understand about that is. The military base doesn't make sense. There's no one there that has the tactical aptitude to help do this. Now, if you told me that this happened at Fort Bragg, right, or Range 37, where special operations is, and like, or where Ground Branch is, or this happened in Virginia, like where CIA paramilitary is, I'd be like, oh. This is fucking sketchy. But at a base where it's just a bunch of support kids, it's like intel kids, that one's a tougher sell to me. But at the same time, dude, it's just like, fuck it, dude. I mean, maybe, you know, maybe Erica Kirk was fucking hanging out with some Green Beret fucking in a Candlewood Suites in Arizona, dude.
And of course, the witness would be the least credible fucking dude on earth.
But he really did see him.
Like, he really did see him, dude.
Yeah, dude. Fuck it. Why not? You know, of course, dude. At this point, it's like everything's so crazy and so unbelievable. Like the official narrative that it's like, dude. But that's one of the things is this is what happens is then people start filling in the blanks.
Yeah,
because everyone knows, other than I think even the TPUSA and the Zionists, they know. I think they know that it's bullshit. It's just that it's their job to push the official narrative. But I don't think
why. You know,
well,
I guess just to.
That's a good question, Jesse. I don't know if we've ever like sat down and thought about that. Like, why? Unless you get into like Israel, why does TPUSA and why do all of Charlie's closest friends? Why do they not want the truth? And they don't because they were fine with this the first minute it happened. FBI narrative, like, nope, everything's perfectly good. We're fine. Why? Why do they want justice for their friend?
Yeah, the only thing that I could think of, like, I'll play complete devil's advocate, give him the benefit of the doubt that this is what it looks like. The only thing I can think of is that they have spoken to the FBI on a level and they know things about the case and they've been 100% convinced that they have the right guy. And so everything that's speculating that looks like it's going to threaten the case against the guy they think really did kill Charlie, they're going to try to push back on. That would make sense. But I think there's so much stuff that, like, no matter what, if it were me, I'd be looking at this and be like, hey, have you guys fucking looked at this, dude? Like, this whole case was solved in 48 hours. You have all these people who've been doing nothing but looking into this case. Like, don't you guys want to look into this and just see if maybe there's something to this stuff or what, you know?
But you have ones like, you know, fucking Gary at Paramount Tactical. Keep in mind, me and him did content together the first couple days, and I was the one walking him back off of the conspiracies. He was the one, we did a live together where he
Yeah.
was like, Charlie Kirk had body armor on. He had to have had body armor on. It had to have deflected off his body armor because there is 0% chance a 30-06 didn't exit his body. He was saying that. And I was the one that debunked the body armor story. Like, no, these are all the reasons. So even people like that, you were like, when this first happened, you fucking didn't believe this at all.
Yeah.
But now,
yeah,
if you're aligned with Turning Point USA, it's the official narrative is the most obvious thing in the fucking world. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the official narrative's true. But it's like, what is going on here? You know?
Yeah, and his case,
that makes it sketchier.
Yeah, and it like all I do to just evaluate like people's voices in general is if they are always in the same exact. Because the reason why I trust you is because you will be like, you'll acknowledge when you don't know something. Your opinions are nuanced. You'll go back and forth based on new information. So but like people who always have the same result, and they either, no matter what they post, are either discrediting someone who is challenging the thing. They are throwing out information that supports,
which I never do to people's.
No,
I might look into your theory and I'll like try to analyze it my best I can, and I'm respectful about it. But like, none of us are like, even with the FBI narrative, because it's retarded. But like, none of us are looking at opposing theories and being like, I got to attack. Like you believe that Charlie Kirk is alive. You know, I don't believe that. We talk about it back and forth, but super friendly. But I also am like, let me see why Jesse does have some actually really, I might not believe like that Charlie Kirk is still alive, but I do believe a bunch of what Jesse just put forward is actually interesting and relevant and true. And so, but am I going to make content where I'm like attacking you personally, calling you a grifter?
Look at what
calling
Jesse
you a
said about
piece
this
of
thing
shit?
before.
Yeah, it's just like,
exactly.
Whoa,
he was wrong
dude.
about this. He was wrong about this. So obviously,
but that's what they do
to
to our side, right? Is it's all attacks on, because that's how I get attacked by these guys, like attacking they can't really attack my credibility, but they are calling me a grifter, right? And it's like Gary and Matt Tardio and all these guys call me a grifter, and it's like, my stance hasn't changed. You can go back to day 2 of the Charlie Kirk assassination, and I believe the exact same thing of what I believe happened, other than new information here and there, that I do now. What's your grift? I haven't flip-flopped. Yeah, so what's my grift? You don't have to believe me or agree with me, but if I've been 100% consistent on what I think happened from day 2, how am I a grifter? You know, and my theory isn't even that crazy. I'm like, I think these 2 kids were involved. I think they're most likely MK Ultra, Patsy S type kids, and I believe there's multiple, maybe state actors. I'm not sure who else is involved, but I 100% believe somebody else is involved, most likely high level. And I don't believe a 30-06 was used. I don't think that's the craziest position to hold in the Charlie Kirk case.
Not at all. And you and I were aligned on that. Like that's where I was at forever. And just with the caveat that I thought that there were way more leftists that were probably involved, just based on the number of people who the day before, whoa, look what's going to happen to Charlie tomorrow, whatever. I'm like, there has to have been some kind of public disclosure in like a Discord group or something. And that's where I was at. And honestly, it took me as long as it did to get to where I landed, only because I wasn't really watching any of the content that was pointing at TPUSA at all. I wasn't looking at any of it. And it wasn't until I started looking at that
I wasn't either at the start for the first month or so.
And then when I started seeing, I'm like, wait, I'm like, Terrell Farnsworth goes and stands on the wall. What the fuck is he doing? And then it's like Mikey McCoy just walks off. Erica's not grieving. And so that's all it was. It's literally like
the fireworks started, right? The WWE theatrics started, the merch, the merch sales at the funeral started.
That's it.
That's when everybody started going, oh, okay.
As I basically, everybody who suspects TPUSA has the exact same analysis as me, except with a different conclusion, where we recognize the exact same behavior is super weird. And I just go, I don't think these guys would have killed Charlie. So like, it seems more likely that he's alive if they're involved. And they're like, no, they're involved. And so they must have killed Charlie. That's literally the only difference. We're analyzing the same behavior, noticing the same problems, and I have more faith in humanity than they do. I think.
Your coverage on the story itself of why you think Charlie was alive, most of that I agree most of all the coverage, I agree with everything you put forward. I just don't agree with the conclusion as to why. You know what I mean? But your information is not wrong as far as I could see. I'm just far more cynical than you are. I'm more
You're like, no, they put him
black-pilled.
down, dude.
I'm like, no, they whacked his ass, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I agree with, like, again, there's so many. So we talked so much about it. I'm like, there's so much about this I think is interesting, especially TPUSA's potential knowing, maybe potentially that something's happening. But anyway, okay. we definitely spiraled a little bit on that. All right, let's see. Do we want to do a little bit of what's happening with Iran? Let's see. Let me see. I forgot what I was even gonna do for the last part of the show.
I know.
Nah, I don't think we really. It's not that big of a deal, really. The biggest thing is, well, there's a peace deal, but there's not a peace deal. Donald Trump is now saying that we are gonna have a deal this weekend.
This is the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah, I know. Have you seen, though, it was actually released now that this is supposedly the actual deal that is coming forward if it is made. So check this out. The U.S.-Iran deal proposal has been officially confirmed by Iran. We'll see about that. That's usually, we hear that all the time. It turns out not to be true. But here is what the deal includes. U.S. sanctions relief. Okay. Extension of the ceasefire for 60 days, reopening of the Strait of Hormuz within 30 days, lifting of oil sanctions against Iran.
That's not the same thing as the top one, but yeah.
Yeah. So this is very specific to oil coming in and out of the Strait.
I was going to say, can I ask you something real quick?
Yeah.
Like, do you know? Okay, so when we say U.S. sanctions, I've always assumed that was a limit on who will buy things from Iran based on our kind of like economic allies. Is that correct?
Yeah,
like
so
that's what sanctions are, right?
We will punish. So they're economic sanctions. So when I say like sanctions on Iran, we've had sanctions on Iran for like 47 years, economic sanctions, which includes things like, hey, if you're Japan and you decide to buy oil from Iran, we will punish you. And so we basically punish anybody like Russia, right? We lifted all the sanctions on Russia, obviously 2 months ago, but a lot of people don't talk about that. But that was the same idea, is like that way Japan, Korea, like all of our Asian allies that would probably want to buy cheap ass oil from Russia, we're going to sanction Russia. That way, if Japan decides to buy, oil from Russia, we can punish Japan, and that stops all of our allies from doing any business with, who we're sanctioning. And the fact that for America up until the Iran war, pretty much controlled the entire war, we were able to leverage sanctions against countries like Iran, North Korea, and Russia, because then, 98% of countries are not going to do business with you. You have to basically, it's just BRICS. It's and less than BRICS. It's China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran. And Vietnam and some other countries like that. They'll do business with each other, but we're not going to allow you to do business with the rest of the world. Well, now we don't really have that power now, because we've completely fucked all of our allies, especially in Asia, in the oil markets. And so now our allies are like, look, we don't have any fucking oil. So we're gonna, and this is why Trump lifted sanctions on Russian oil, is because Japan, Korea, all of our allies are like, look, motherfuckers, if you don't fucking let us buy oil from them, from China, from Russia, we're going to just ally with them, because
civilization is going to grind to a halt. We have no options. We're not going to let our
fucking oil. Yeah. Like Japan's like, we get 95% of our oil out of the Gulf, out of the Strait of Hormuz. And if you don't allow us to do this, so we've really lost a ton of our actual economic sanctioning power, as the United States, as the imperialistic United States as well, because now none of our allies give a fuck. They're like, sorry, dude, we didn't fucking sign. We see Europe talking about this too, that Donald Trump begging us to come or begging them to come help in the Strait. And they're like, fuck you, dude. We didn't sign up for this, And so
our intelligence was that they'll close the Strait if we attack them. Gas is actually really cheap here again. And all that scares me. That makes me feel like we're dipping in the reserve, like
We are. And the oil executives, there's a big story about it today. Chevron, Exxon, and Mobil, all the CEOs, all the big higher ups have just put out that there is massive gas hikes coming in the next month as the United States is about to basically collapse off all of its strategic reserves. So we've been running off all of our strategic reserves. They say it's about a month left. And then you're going to see everything go straight fucking vertical.
And we're going to have to restock the reserves, right? Like, I
You're
don't even know how
supposed
that
to.
works. Yeah.
Well, the problem is that we didn't restock them before the war. So that's always a huge, that's always a huge, the United States usually is pretty good about this. Before we go to war with the Middle East, we max out our strategic oil reserves. We didn't do anything with them. And then we just decided, because we went in haphazardly, right? We didn't think about all the consequences. So now our strategic oil reserves were at critically low levels before somebody said, we know this how? Because the United States government fucking announced it. And all of the oil companies are telling us this is what's going to happen. Because the oil companies are saying, look, don't get mad at us when fucking oil skyrockets $2 a gallon here in a month, because all the strategic reserves run out. So yeah, that's a real thing that's coming around the corner.
That's so bad.
And I think that's why Donald Trump is so desperate to get a deal. Is think about that running into the midterms and summer, right? So when you factor in summer, the strategic reserves run out. Let's say gas jumps $2-3 a gallon going into the fall, into November.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen in the midterms? It's already going to be bad enough, but
yeah.
No, you're good. I was just going to pull this back up and then, because there's a few more. Partially unfreezing 24 billion in Iranian assets. Keep in mind,
I thought 1.2 billion or whatever Obama gave them.
1.7. Yeah, 1.7. So we're going to give them, what is that? Almost fucking 14x what Obama did. And then this is the big one. This is insane. And there's details coming out about this. A U.S. plan to help restore Iran's economy, which most likely is going to include upwards of $300 billion payout to Iran from the United States. $300 billion, a third of $1 trillion payout to pay back all of the things that we destroyed. So
in exchange for them opening a strait that was open before we bombed them.
Correct. And so what Iran is saying is that you will pay us for all of the shit that you destroyed, including all of our infrastructure, our bridges. You're gonna
all our military stuff too, dog. Hey, you blew up our radar. You got to pay to make our military strong again.
So we spent, it's looking like it's gonna come out to about us spending $100 billion to bomb Iran for the U.S. So U.S. taxpayers pay $100 billion to bomb Iran, to then pay Iran. Maybe it's 200. It's either 200 or $300 billion to repair all of the shit we spent $100 billion bombing. That's going to be part of the deal as well. And did you notice there's no discussion of uranium or nuclear anything? Because Iran has also said there will be no deal involving anything with our uranium or nuclear capabilities until after a peace deal is officially concluded. So what Iran is saying is the discussion about our nukes, we won't even fucking have that discussion until full peace deal is completed. Then we might talk to you about not trying to build a nuke.
And I think the sketchiest part of any of it is that if you are Iran, why would you trust any agreement that we get into? And I would say that about any country in the world. We that. I don't, and I've said this a million times, that should not be legal. I don't care who the president is. This is not a left or right thing. Any agreement that we get into that is a signed legal agreement, there should not be an option where a new president comes in and undoes it, because it's catastrophic for the trust that we have on the global stage. It
should have to be undone by Congress.
Yes.
Which means the people that we vote in to office are the ones that go in and decide to vote on to, make those drastic decisions. And so it actually, I just pulled it up here. It looks like it is, it's going to be 300 billion is what they're floating. So it says here, Vance's new statements say that the deal involves no cash and no funds released for signing, while Iran's draft requires the United States to release $24 billion in frozen funds and pay Iran $300 billion in war reparations before.
That seems like a pretty big gap.
No, but look at this. Look at this. We have to pay this before a peace deal is even fucking considered. This
They
is the
know
payoff.
they have us by the balls.
This is the payoff for them to consider negotiating a peace deal. We have to pay them $300 billion just to start having the discussion about peace.
Oh man. When are the midterms? I hate to even think this, but like
November.
I feel like they're not going to nuke anyone until after the midterms, but like that right there, I look at that and I'm like, oh fuck. They're really like they're going to make like to even have the conversation. They want 300 Bs up front. Then that's one of those ones. Like, oh
yes,
fuck, man.
dude.
That is like they might. There's for sure going to be people talking about nuking them for sure. Like hopefully they're smarter, like calmer heads. Like I'd rather just pay the money.
Yeah,
but man, that's
think about this. Iran. Do you know what their annual defense budget is?
It's like 15 billion or something.
Close. It's $10 billion a year. Their entire military defense budget is $10 billion. Ours is almost 1.5 trillion, by the way.
Yeah.
10 billion. So think about that. Their entire annual defense budget is 10 billion, and we're about to float them 300 billion fucking dollars in cash.
Dude, how long do you think it was taking for us to spend 10 billion during this effort? So how many days did it take for us to burn 10 billion?
3 days, 2 days.
Yeah. So that's our whole year, and we burned it in 3 days, and they have us by the balls.
Yeah. Well, and to your point with that, having us by the balls, what I think here's the problem is Donald Trump can't agree to that deal. There's no way he can agree to that deal. One, his own base. I'm like, for us, I'm like, fuck it. I don't care. Agree to the deal. I don't give a shit. Whatever. Like, I'm not a big fan of paying Iran $300 billion in U.S. taxpayers. That I'm not really okay with. But like lifting the sanctions, unfreezing their own assets, like letting them have nukes. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care about it.
I don't care. None of us do. But MAGA does. And Israel does. Right. So his own base he cannot accept the deal based off of his own base. So where does that leave us? To your point about, well, Iran, no, they don't give a fuck because Iran's massively emboldened by this whole thing. So they're like, okay, we'll just hold you by the balls as long as we want. But Donald Trump can't do anything. So now we're at a stalemate while the global economy fucking craters. And so what happens? How do we get out of this? Does Donald Trump take the gigantic L and basically just give them everything they want and then try to spin it? I mean, of course they could say MAGA will spin it. MAGA will spin it as a victory somehow for Trump, but going into the midterms, the average American person is going to look at that and be like, fuck no.
I wonder if there's they're going to propose something where we agree to this and here's what the real deal is, but we get to announce that this is what the deal actually is. I think
that's, dude, I think there could be a high likelihood of that. It's like, you got to let Trump save face. That's what we tell Iran. We'll give you fucking everything they want. We'll fucking dark money you the 300 billion. We'll lift every sanction.
You could build the nukes. You
can build the
keep
nukes.
It quiet for 5 years.
Until Trump's out of office, you just have to say that this was like the greatest deal that Donald Trump has ever fucking achieved in his life, right? Like Iran gets nothing. They gave up the uranium. Like, do some fucking theatrical, like, here's Iran showing up to the airport with like bags of uranium, right? Like,
and we want one of those Lego AI music videos that says, "Damn, Trump punked us in this negotiation."
Right.
So they get 300 billion. They're all sure. Yeah. You can have your fucking Lego commercial, dude.
Dude, you know what's crazy though is that is probably the best case scenario to get us out of it. Is that right there?
Yeah.
Is give Iran what they want. Let Iran fakes that they lose. Donald Trump gets like this like pat on the back. Good job, you did it. Yeah. And we move it along because I don't see how we get out of it.
That is
until somebody new comes in power in America, right?
Yeah.
Until I don't see how Trump gets out of it. He's got his dick in a bear trap. Right
yeah,
now.
It's not good. And so, I didn't even really thought about that either. The fact that like, dude, if the amount of information that we can base this on is extensive, which is that he clearly cannot go off the reservation as it relates to what Israel wants. Apparently, like,
well, so let's pull this up, Jesse, because this was posted today, talking about what our greatest ally wants. Because again, they keep doing this. So today, Bibi posted, "As long as I am Prime Minister of Israel, Iran will not have nuclear weapons. There is a full agreement between me and Trump on the issue for over 30 years. I've been at the forefront of the international campaign against Iran's nuclear program. Had it not been for this campaign, Iran would have, okay, yeah, sure. They've been 2 weeks away from nukes forever. We know that. But again, Iran is working to destroy the Jewish state. Not true. And I dedicate my life to preventing them to do so. As long as I am prime minister of Israel, this will not happen. This was posted today. Today. He is saying, we will not allow the United States to come to a deal with Iran. That's what he's saying. It absolutely not. It will not fucking happen.
And
right?
when Obama made the deal, which I mean, listen, I'm not a fucking weapons inspector, but I had heard that they had been adhering to it.
They
did everything to undermine it and talk about, like to push propaganda about how terrible a deal it was so that, Trump comes in and undoes it. It's like, well, if that deal wasn't good enough, even when they weren't doing it, what is the actual goal?
That deal was 1,000 times better than what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Objectively. Just objectively, like that and deal included the ability for the international community to come in and inspect their facilities. Like, you think that's going to happen with this deal? You think Iran's going to be like, oh yeah, you guys can come and look at our stuff again?
Yeah.
Fuck no. They're asking for $300 billion to even start the conversation. Like they're not about to go back to the old deal. But the crazy thing is like Iran was actually almost giving the United States everything they wanted in the negotiations right before we bombed them. So Iran was like willing to come to the table, give up all their uranium, and then we killed their negotiators and started the war.
And one of the key negotiators who was on our side, I heard we killed his family and he survived. So that was probably really beneficial for us.
Well, just like the fucking Ayatollah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you killed 5 of his family members, his dad, 2 of his kids, and his wife. You think he's going to be less radicalized because of that? Think about if that was you, Jesse. You're running a country, and Donald Trump, out of nowhere in negotiations, kills your negotiators, bombs your countries, kills 2 of your kids, your wife and your dad, and you're in charge. I think, are you going to be like, hey, so maybe we got to figure this peace thing out, guys?
Yeah,
no,
these guys
gonna be like, fuck these motherfuckers. Like, we'll take this to the end. You know what I mean? And that's what they're willing to do. But America's not willing to do that. We're not willing to destroy. The American people aren't willing to destroy our entire country over this conflict. Iran's willing to do that because it's their home turf, right? If it was a foreign country attacking the United States on our soil, of course we would be willing to.
Of course.
We would fight this, like we would all fight this thing out until, the end of the world apocalypse. But
there's a clip yesterday. Did you see the clip that someone got it and it was us? It was, I think it was taken in Tehran, but the footage was unreal. These bombs that we were dropping were, I've never seen footage like this of this type of weapon, whatever it was, but it was like, it was just like boom. And they're just obliterating these targets. And then there was one taken from like across it, like that was the beginning. And then the second part of the clip, there was like a bridge. It was across water and there was a bunch of shit blowing up there. Did you not see that? I'll find it.
I haven't seen that one yet.
But you just watch it and it's just like, it's like a beautiful city. The place that they were blowing up was like clearly where a bunch of wealthy people live in Iran because there was everybody's boats were right there and all that. And it's just like, boom.
That's what we're doing, dude. We're attacking civilian infrastructure. We're attacking all the things you're not supposed to attack. That's America. And what's crazy is, and this is not propaganda. People will say, hey, propaganda. No, it's not. I can literally, Donald Trump posted 2 days ago that it's time to start bombing bridges, power plants, and water reserves. He posted that on True Social. Okay. So this is our own president fucking saying and doing these things. But if you look at Iran, Iran's doing the exact opposite. It's also strategic, right? Because Iran is waging sort of the PR war, right? They're actually trying to win the hearts and minds of the entire world right now. And they're doing a pretty good job. So they've actually purposefully not targeted civilians, not targeted civilian infrastructure, not even targeted military personnel, right? Now, the first day of the war, obviously the massive attacks on both sides that happened. But since then, they've been very, very cautious to not piss off the American people. That's their entire, like, that's part of their asymmetric and unconventional warfare approach to this, is sort of the Vietnam style approach. If we just hang on and we make the American people in the world sort of make us, we're the underdog fighting against the evil Zionists
and being nice about it.
and being nice about it and and having a good sense of humor about it and putting out funny Lego videos about it. That's how they're winning. Like people, I mean, I don't know if you'd say winning, but they don't need to win, right? They just need to not lose. That's how they're not losing the conflict. But again, for us, again, the American people, we have already shown, and it's smart by them. And well, obviously they've watched, right? They've watched the United States. The United States cannot stick with, one, we don't fight wars to win, but two, it cannot stick with a war. The American people they get tired of it. They hate seeing, young American men and women die. And now we just don't have any appetite for it, especially coming off 20 years in Afghanistan and Iraq. So Iran knows that the American people, especially when the global economy is fucked, all they got to do is just, wait it out, not piss off the American people. And the American people will eventually get so pissed off that the war will end.
Are there any examples? And I was just thinking about this while you were talking about that. Are there any examples since World War II where a country fought the entire conflict, like, in another continent from their home turf or homeland and won? I was trying to think about that. I'm like, okay, Soviet Union against Afghanistan, they lost. Us in Iraq, us in Afghanistan. That doesn't happen, right?
So, there are times where they've won and taken and occupied areas. Change.
Yeah.
But yeah, so think about like us in Afghanistan, us in Iraq, Russia in Afghanistan, right? Britain in Afghanistan. Everybody's invaded Afghanistan. So no, there's been times where we've taken countries have taken over. Let's say Japan took over massive swaths of China, but it doesn't last because logistically, it's just so hard to win a protracted war over decades in a foreign country. It just is, right? And think about the United States, right? How did we get founded? Because Britain could not maintain control over a country from across the ocean. And so, even the United States, not really. I guess you could look at but you brought up, you said not including World War II, but you can go back thousands of years, even thousands of years. I mean, even let's say, I think Iran, what's just crazy, I think the Persian Empire has only been conquered twice in 5,000 years. I believe it was Alexander the Great and the Mongols. And very short periods of time, they were able to actually get into Iran and take ground. But Afghanistan is the same way. It's called the graveyard of empires. That's the other thing is the United States we try to occupy countries that just historically are the most impossible countries for us to occupy.
We ignore history.
Yeah. And so again, Iran, and that's what a lot of people don't understand about Iran too, is people if you just watch the mainstream media or Fox News, they'll tell you Iran is this backwards Afghanistan-esque country where they all live in mud huts. And you're like, dude, no,
it's Persia.
Persia is extremely well technologically advanced. They have some of the best doctors and medical care and best education in the world.
The place I saw getting bombed yesterday looked like
gorgeous,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Wealthy, a very wealthy place. Yeah.
And the Persian people, the other thing that we didn't, because we don't do our fucking research, and I don't understand because people like me understand this, but Iran and the Persian people are extremely, extremely proud people. And so what we saw is when we attacked Iran, there was, of course, tons of people who hate the Ayatollah and hate the regime. But what did they all do? They all banded fucking together because the outside invader, much like what happened in the United States, if China tried to invade the United States, the left-right divide would fucking disappear real quick because a foreign invader, right? You're going to band together. And that's what's happened with Iran is the Persian people have all banded together and we've reunited them. And it's turned out, and this is, military historians will tell you this, that air campaigns, bombing people does not actually make them capitulate. It hardens their resolve. We know that historically, and that is all people everywhere in the world. Yep. You cannot regime change by bombing people into submission.
You threaten people's children, and then you're like, "Hey, we're going to come in and rule you guys." You're like, "No, you dropped a bomb. You killed my neighbors. You almost killed my kids." We're the good guys. Yeah.
And so it
and then by comparison, it's like, honestly, it's honestly like, imagine if, you know, I assume that most Americans are like would fall into the category I would describe right here. It's like, even if the other, whatever president is president of the United States, and then you know, don't like them at all. But if they like went on a trip to fill in the blank country and then got assassinated by the military over there, I assume everyone would be like, I literally forgot what my partisan affiliation is the second that he got shot. And now it's like, okay, so we're all on this together, right? Like, fuck that shit. That's the president. You just whacked him out. You know, it's like common sense.
Yeah, man. So again, we're at a break point here for Trump where he can't back out because he's stuck, right? But there's no way he can take the deal. And he can't, the big part here is he can't push through. So you got two choices. You can fucking push through in war. You can push through, which means we're going to come and destroy everything, put boots on the ground invasion. We're going to come and we're literally going to regime change and then nation build. That's the push through. Or you fucking give up, right? We got to do one or the other, but we can't do either. I mean, we could push through, but we'll lose hundreds of thousands of lives, and it'll be, I mean, that's going to be Vietnam on steroids. And do you think the American people are going to sit by as hundreds of thousands of troops get killed and the draft gets enacted? That shit ain't happening. Like,
I heard Trump talking today, and he was talking about that he didn't think that the American people have the appetite for it. But in his like the answer that he was giving, he was talking about how we went into Venezuela, and he was talking about all the barrels of oil that we're pulling out of there. And he's like, people are making a lot of money. We're shipping oil all over the place. He literally said that. He's like, people are making a lot of money. He's like, you know, and Ron, he's like, we would like to have the same outcome, but I don't know if everybody has, you know, if the American people have the stomach for it. So I understand that. I'm like, dude, you're not supposed to say that part out loud. You're not supposed to say we went into Venezuela, we kidnapped the leader, and then now we're taking all of their oil out. Like, that's like for you in the back room. Like we all knew that we all know that happens, but you're not supposed to say it on Fox News.
And who's making a lot of money?
Exactly.
It ain't the American people.
No,
because all this fucking oil is getting taken out of everywhere. But then why is fucking gas $5 a gallon? That's the other thing. Americans are just like, when he brags about taking all this oil out of Venezuela and like, you know, we're gonna take all the oil out of Iran. It's like, okay, then why is gas $8 a gallon in LA? Well, I mean, I could explain why. Like, oil is a global commodity. There's a lot to it, but I mean, still at the same time, Americans, we don't have an appetite for any of this shit.
What if we were just all nice? Like, what would happen if we just all were like, hey, when it comes to like oil and commerce, everybody we got a good thing. Everybody buy from whoever you want. You know, like I know there has to be a lot of mechanisms behind the scenes that I don't understand, but that's always my question is like, why don't we just let everybody just sell their oil to whoever? And it's like, the only answer I can come up with is that the reality of how the world actually works is you have the robber barons on top who use the government and the military to go 100%. Into countries and then push. Yeah. Like George, like when those emails got pushed out about George Soros and how he used his foundation in that country that they were trying to do the mining rights in. And he literally went in there. They had a deal where they were going to get 51% of whatever was going to come out of the ground. They didn't like that. So he used his organization that he had there. They went in and protested complete and total bullshit, calling everybody racist, calling everybody whatever, because he was trying to ultimately put pressure on the regime so that he could get a deal where they got 75% or something like that. The whole entire thing. That's all it was, dude. And it's like, so these guys sit above and they're the ones who are like, go in, we do this, whatever. And it's just commerce on this global stage. And they're sociopaths, like psychopathic megalomaniacs.
Sure.
And,
look at the global war on terror. Look. Dick Cheney was the CEO
number one example
of fucking Halliburton, which ended up making trillions of dollars off of the global war on terror that he and George Bush started, right? The military industrial complex. That's another big one too, is like, you got to keep in mind how much money is being made off of foreign conflicts, but then also just America's imperialistic military presence. I mean, we have hundreds of bases around the world. How much money do you think that costs to upkeep? Well, of course, trillions of dollars. We know that. And so what's going to happen if America just went, you know what? We're done bombing brown people. We're just going to be nice. We don't need Lockheed Martin. We don't need Boeing. We don't need Northrop Grumman. We don't need Halliburton. We don't need Raytheon. We don't like start to think about this, right? These are trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. We don't need this all of a sudden. What the fuck do they do? Then they lobby, baby. They lobby our politicians, right? Like, why do you think Lindsey Graham keeps fucking winning? Right? Because that motherfucker is getting fat checks from the military industrial complex to keep that war going. Because there's not for us, but there's trillions and trillions of dollars to be made more. And it's the American war machine. And so again, that's also what's scary when you see like someone like Thomas Massey, right? You see someone like, let's say, a Tucker Carlson who decides he wants to run for president. And he was like, guess what? No more wars.
Yeah.
We're done. We're done. Do you think they're going to let that dude live? You think the military industrial complex is going to be like, nope, I guess we're out of trillions of dollars?
Yep.
Fuck no, dude.
No way, man.
Yep. So
yeah, it's nuts, man. Because like, gosh, because there's like the Tucker Carlson example is a good one, and then it's just like with Thomas Massey, they can just out in the open throw all this money out there, just right in our face, and just be like, yeah, we primaried him, and then they're all, no, how you like? Hey, they go on X after, how you like them apples?
You're bragged. AIPAC was
isn't that a foreign lobby? Like just publicly bragged about that? I don't even understand. You know what's one thing I'll leave you with? I got to jump after this, but this is one thing I was that I saw on a documentary that I watched recently that was talking a lot of stuff about 9/11. And there's this one clip that I just couldn't shake that I was like, I can't believe that I just watched that. And it was a press conference in the White House, and George Bush was answering questions about the 9/11 commission. And they were like, can you explain why you and Dick Cheney are going to be going in to answer questions to the commission together as opposed to separate, since they wanted you to come in by yourselves? And he was like, well, I'm just excited to answer their questions. They've got questions for me. And they're all, yeah, but why are you going in with Dick Cheney as opposed to by yourself? And you're like, hey guys, anybody who needs me to translate this for you, I'm like, this is not the right channel for you. You should be able to figure this out on your own. Like, the president of the United States is not allowed to go into this meeting with the 9/11 commission without his daddy, the vice president
the
and CEO
of a military, the CEO of a military industrial complex company.
And his best friend for 30 or 40 years, who's the Secretary of Defense, and Donald Rumsfeld. Those guys slashed, burned, and murdered their way to the top of the world. And those two in those two roles, that must have been scary to be on the wrong side of during those years, man.
Oh yeah. Well, but they also they did a good job of lying and selling it. I think that's what I think really pisses people off with Trump. Is it's like in the Trump administration, it's like, you guys didn't even fucking try. Like, at least lie to me, dude. Like, try to sell me some bullshit story. Like 9/11, like you have factor in 9/11, WMDs, Colin Powell sitting before Congress showing the vials, one vial of this, destroy the entire world. You know, that was the psyop. That was good propaganda. Like, keep in mind the Afghanistan war in 2001, when we went in, when the two special forces teams went in, that war had I believe a 94% approval rating with Americans. 94% approval rating, right? So what I think Iran was like 38% on day one. And so
I'm shocked it was that high.
Yeah, I mean, that's mega, right? But just the Trump supporters, I guess. But
the one story they tried to run was how there were all these protesters in the street protesting the regime, and the regime is killing them. And you're all, who gives a fuck? Like, that's not, what the fuck does that have to do with us? They're all, we need to protect these protesters.
Mark Levine and Lindsey Graham are out there talking about how we have to protect the Iranian people, and it's like, you psychopaths can't fucking bomb brown people fast enough. But I'm supposed to believe that Lindsey Graham and Mark Levine are the compassionate, empathetic, soldiers for Iran's people.
And now those are the same guys that are all, wipe them off the planet, nuke all of their cities. I feel like those protesters are still going to be there, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like so Randy Fine talking about nuking Gaza and then complaining about the Iranian people being killed, and you're like, okay, dude. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Dude. All right, brother. I'll let you go. I'm going to hit the super chats and get out of here too.
So. All right, cool. Thanks, brother.
Yep. Yeah. All right. See you, Jess. All right. That was a fun one. All right. So hopefully you guys had fun with Jesse coming on. That made it a lot more fun and to talk about. All right. So we did it. That's going to wrap up the regular portion of the show. Hope you guys had a good time on that. Now I got to hit the super chats. Sorry, we are behind on the super chats. That's usually what happens when, we get me and Jesse on here together and the conversation starts flowing. But we have good chemistry. Yeah, just because Jesse's actually one of my really good friends. in real life. So I love having Jesse on. Okay, let's do it. Let's jump in. Let's hit the super chats so I can get us all out of here. We're definitely behind. Definitely behind. All right, so let's do it. Kiwi says, and again, I might forget some of the things that we were talking about at the time now. He's trying to disclosure day at the White House. Oh, alien disclosure day. Yep. Hey, Nate, your stream keeps lagging, buffering. This is the third stream that's happened so far. For it's only been your stream. Well, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't. I don't think it's on my end, but you know, YouTube can do that sometimes. But anyway, hopefully it buffered out. Graham Bear, what's up, brother? Says all this garbage coming out about 47. Just invoked the 25th Amendment already and cut off our greatest ally. Keep up the great work, Nate. Yeah, I mean, the problem is J.D. Vance will never do it. There is rumors that Donald Trump is going to be impeached by Congress, but yeah, I don't have any hope for that until after the midterms. Nebraska, well, I don't agree with you on everything. Nebraska. Look forward to your content and value your insight on the dumpster fire. Bring it to the masses. Well, thank you. Hopefully, Nebraska. You mean Nate? Tell Munchkin I said, pss, 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 pss. I will. Munchkin's snoozing. The problem is Munchkin is usually asleep right now. You know, she's terrorizing the house at nighttime. So when I can get her out here when she's actually up and moving. Here's $5. Every single thing you said so far has been a lie. Okay. I think I've been objectively correct on probably 90+% of the things I've said tonight. But hey, appreciate the $5 anyway. Buff like Jesus, 20 Valhalla VFT memberships. I don't know if you're still here, brother. I didn't see you at the didn't see you talking at the start of the show, but we showed everybody the patches, the Wang Gang and the mattress maxers. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you, brother. Thank you. Juba says, found this channel right after Charlie Kirk's assassination. Just want to say thanks for being an honest voice in this current political environment. Well, thank you, because this guy said I lied about everything. So we got competing narratives here. Nate's honest, and Nate also lied about 100% of things he said. All right, so there we go. Gabi says, great content. Erica Kirk's recent women's conference featured Savannah Stone, Roger Stone's daughter. Wow. She's encouraging recruits to befriend as many young liberal women as they can and convince them not to vote and trust their husbands. That's interesting. That's pretty bizarre, huh? Well, I don't know. Roger Stone's daughter. I don't know anything about her, but her dad is a character for sure. Fuzzyball says, realize that Ukraine has been close to Tel Aviv ever. Yeah, this is true. Ever since it was formed, it dawns on you that Ukrainian conflict, the CIA, MI6, Mossad, and the war in the Middle East are all tied together. Yes, Ukraine is extremely, extremely pro our greatest ally. Look at Zelensky, if you don't know who he is. Thank you. Alex says, divide and conquer. TPUSA is intentionally being destroyed. Goal is to break up all big organizations that can cause problems for the government. No, TPUSA is actively working for the government and a foreign government. So I don't believe that. Don't believe that at all. I think TPUSA is literally a mouthpiece for the Trump administration. At least on that specific one. Worst Rex said, love YouTube Premium. Hope Ian Carroll is good. Miss Catchu, Baron, and Carol filling up my week with based content. Has Ian not been doing a whole lot of content lately? I know he talked about maybe doing some other stuff for a while. Let's see. I haven't seen his stuff pop up for a bit. Let's see. Oh, it's been a couple weeks, huh? Been a couple weeks. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since he's put anything out. I know he's working on a lot of other stuff too, with his his programming and stuff like that. He's super into that. All right, Index says, hey Nate, found you via JD about 6 months ago. That's the homie. Love the content on the current shit show. How was Dwarf Wrestling? It was fantastic. Thanks for what you do, brother. I was supposed to upload some of the videos me and JD got from that, but I forgot to do it. Dakota and Liberty are the pups. Those are good looking pups right there. No, it was great. It was actually, I love wrestling. I'm a huge fan of WWE. You guys already know that. So I was like way more into it than everybody else, but they were actually like super, super good. It wasn't just like dwarves wrestling. They were like legit. They were all luchadors, little dwarf luchadors, which was hilarious, but they were actually like super good at wrestling too. So it was a great show. My uncle waved at Trump once, 43 years later, boom, herpes. Coincidence. Getting herpes via, looking at someone, that's rough. That's toxic. Is there something about showing loyalty to our greatest ally by a non-J by a Nick in the right ear? I don't know. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Booga says, my theory is someone near Trump convinced crooks to target civilians at Butler. He likely, this is interesting because it was civilians that were hit, right? He likely thought he would get away. It's odd. He had no social media and his apartment was professionally clean. Very, very, very odd. Also, the fact that he had exchanged emails with the sheriff's department leading up to that. I believe Tucker. Sorry. It's like allergies on top of talking for hours at a time, guys. Hold on 1 second. Let me blow my nose real quick. Sorry about that. Okay. In Oregon in spring. It's rough out here. Hey, Nate, just got back from SFAS today. Fuck yeah. Well, unfortunately, didn't get selected. Not great, but I'm glad I'm watching your videos again, brother. Hey, here's what I'll tell you, man. If it's your first time going, I know dozens of friends and teammates that did not make it through until their second or third attempt. Okay. Super, super common for guys to come back and make it on a second attempt. So I would say if you really want to do it, don't let it discourage you. Take it as a learning experience and try again. I'm telling you, there's a ton of dudes I know that made it through on their second try. Super high success rate for guys on their second tries, actually. But anyway, hey, man, it happens. It's very, very low success rate, but glad to hear you at least tried. And, you've tried to do something that the vast majority of men will never even be willing to attempt in their life. So, but again, hope you give it another shot, man. At least try twice. That's what I would say. You can hang it up after that. Mr. Wall said, sending my second super chat. Don't tell my wife. Anyway, love the show, brother. Just wanted to ask if you've done anything with the Reaper, Nick Irving, either military service or as a content creator. No, I haven't. I don't know Nick. I know we have mutual friends, but God damn, sorry guys. Mutual friends, but no, I haven't done any content with him before. Don't know him personally. John says Epstein's publicist gave him a false name. She's in the files several times under her real name. There you go. Interesting. Thank you. Ancient Latter-day Saint says, all this AI stuff pisses me off. I can't believe MAGA's still trying to make it seem like Charlie would be okay with this. Yep, just absolutely destroying his legacy in real time. Sent you a video of a rabbi explaining the purposes of Butler on Instagram. Okay, I'll take a look after this, Carrie. Thank you. Right, the guy says, I don't know how Trump went to the Spurs-Knicks game after that the other night. He didn't even have a ballroom with him. Yeah, isn't that interesting? How Donald Trump, it's not safe for him to be anywhere outside of a ballroom, but he can just freely go to Knicks games. Also, guys, isn't it interesting that he didn't have time to go to his own son's wedding, but he had time to go to a Knicks game during massive escalation and ramp up in the war against Iran? Anyway, just some things to think about. Just saying. Rye Guy Senior. Okay. Oh, wait, is this you and your dad, bro? This is or you just have you got Rye the Guy and then Rye Guy Senior. I don't know if this is you and your dad. Anyway, maybe you just have very similar names. Wake me up when the insanity ends. I guess I'll be sleeping a while. Love the show, Nate. What's your opinion on USA leaving NATO? Yeah, I've talked about this before, but I'll give it to you again. Good, bad, nothing going to happen. Should it? Off topic. I know, to my fellow Americans, be kind. It's free. That's a great one, man. I highly encourage that as well. So us leaving NATO, why are we going to do it? We're going to leave NATO because Israel wants to go to war with Turkey, and Turkey is a NATO ally. The United States cannot attack a NATO ally. That's part of the actual defense treaty that is NATO. And so if we leave NATO, it is strictly so that we can go to war with Turkey on behalf of Israel, which Benjamin Netanyahu said this week that's the goal, and that's what they want to do. So they're saying it out loud. But yeah, that's why we would leave NATO, not for any other reason than that. Will we? Probably. Yeah, probably by the end of Trump's term. But we'll see. Crazy how TPSVA is explicitly showing people alter history once showing how people alter history once a political figure passes away. Yeah, that's a great point. Just rewriting the history books, and it's no longer able to speak. Great point. Great point. Think about our history books and how bullshit they all probably are. And the Red Pill is also doing the black versus white thing now. Yep, we talked about that on Tuesday as well. It's a distraction from Trump, 100%. I agree with you on that. This well, a lot of it's the Carmelo Anthony trial, obviously. MAGA, well, and it's actually both sides. Both sides love to use, left and right love to use the left-right divide for political means, right? We saw that with the BLM riots and protests as well. God damn, sorry guys. My throat's beat up. Maybe I need to put in another an upper decky. Guys, I got these. These are new. These are caffeine ones still. So I got the normal, the alpha caffeine dips, right? Because I don't use nicotine anymore. But I got these new ones that are called called upper deckies. Can you see that? Upper deckies. These are caffeine. These ones are really good too. Watermelon flavor here. Anyway, sorry, just a little aside. If you guys like Zins and you're trying to quit nicotine, not sponsored or anything like that. This is just something I've used since I quit 2 years ago. So it's like having a Zin in, but there's no nicotine. Highly suggest it if you're not trying it yet. Myron Gaines is not talking about all this. He cares about divide and conquer. True. I don't think Myron's a bad guy, but here's the thing. The content gets numbers, man. And that's why Matt Walsh, Benny Johnson, Officer Tatum, Ben Shapiro, all they can talk about right now is the Carmelo Anthony trial and, stoking the black versus white divide because it pushes numbers, pushes view numbers. And so not something you guys know. It's not something I engage in my content. You're never going to see me trying to stoke left, right, Christian versus Muslim, black versus white divide. I'm just not going to do it. I don't believe in it, but it's I could have been doing content on it, but yeah, it's just I'm not gonna use my platform to try to stoke hate. So that's the way it goes. Bobby says they need to call it Turncoat. Turncoat USA. Bobby, I like that one. I'm stealing that one. I'm definitely stealing that one. That's a good joke. Thanks, brother. James says, hey, Nate, lately I've been wondering, why don't we ever hear anything from Charlie's family? You'd think with so much speculation and theories that at least one of them would say something about it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I haven't heard from his parents. Just Erica, right? Just Erica. I don't know. Brothers and sisters or anything like that. I don't know, man. Good question. I don't have an answer for you, though. Thank you. So if you don't make your wife CEO after you pass, that means you don't love her. Got it. Yes. According to TPUSA, that's their logic, I guess. Mega shills are into TDSM. That's like BDSM, Trump. What is BDSM, guys? Sorry, it's not my. I know it's the like the leather and whips, right? But what does it actually mean? What does that actually mean? I forget because I need to be able to say Trump, whatever it is. Somebody, JD will know. JD's into dominatrixes and weird shit like that, right? JD will know what BDSM is. Somebody said just know the bondage part. Where is it? JD, what's BDSM mean? I see you in here. He'll know. He's into some creepy weird shit like that. Not the children though, right? Not the children. Okay. TDSM is where Trump pegs you. Got it. Thank you, JD. Tracking. All right. It's where Trump pegs you. Got it. MAGA does love that, by the way. So that comment does work. Natalie Portman has dual citizenship, which means Anakin Skywalker was groomed by and fell to the dark side to save a Mossad agent. Oh, that's a good one, too. You guys are funny tonight. All right. At least you two chocolate starfishes are streaming together, so I don't have to try to pick one to watch after the fact. Sup, Jesse? Hell yeah, dude. Bobby says, yes, a beauty pageant participant would be a great choice for CEO. Charlie was much smarter than that. Yep, Bobby, 100% true. Andrew and Blake somehow outdo Erica's bad acting. They all terrible, aren't they? Now it's for real. TP, wipe my ass with them. Okay. Oh, what's up, Matt? Trigger Smart's here, or was here earlier. TPUSA Faith seems like a front for something else, especially since they have PDFs on staff. Now, you guys, Matt and the boys, know way more about this than me, the TPUSA side of things. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. Would not be shocked to see it be some type of front, especially with how sketchy all their finances are for sure. Thanks, Matt. Thank you, brother. Joe, what's up, buddy? Says, isn't it anti-Israel to create AI videos saying my Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ or Christ is King? Yes, it's anti-Semitic, they've said. Just saying seems like fanning the flames. So Christ is King, according to our greatest ally, is anti-Semitic. And according to Ted Cruz said this as well. So there's that. Oh, little shout out to Munchkin. Hell yeah. Oh, Bays, we got all the homies are in the chat tonight, huh? Or were? Bay says, for a little while, I was starting to believe it was just a psyop, but I think they offed him, mainly because if Charlie was alive, he never would have let them screw up the bet. So that was always that's a point I always would make to Jesse Bays is that if Charlie was alive and he was still running things, like I got to imagine they'd be doing better than they're doing, right? Because they burned all the way in. That's one of the big reasons I've thought so too. JD Delay, all the homies back to back to back. All of this, okay. All of this TDS is disgusting. None of you could walk a mile in Trump's. Okay, I wasn't ready for that. None of you could walk a mile in Trump's soiled diaper. Nor would I want to try. But no, I don't think I could. I don't think I could actually walk an entire mile in Donald Trump's shitty diaper, JD, to your point on that one. Thank you. All right, Palm Beach Pete from the same county as Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. They do this to show us they're untouchable. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. It seems like they're bragging. John says, the ghoulish Millers had a demon spawn today. Hawthorne Hayes. Look at the initials and count those letters. The Nazis won the war, and I don't even need to ask around either. You're correct, Nate. They're rubbing it in. Hawthorne Hayes. HH, huh? Big HH. Well, we all know what that means. Sorry, guys. I'm going to blow my nose real quick. Allergies. All right. Who has bigger hands, you, Nate, or Jesse on fire? I would assume I do. I have pretty big hands. I'm very tall, and so usually tall people have big hands. As you can see, my hands are gigantic. So I would probably bet Jesse is Jesse's not small, but I don't think he has probably as big as hands as me. Would be my guess. Just strictly due to our size. But again, I don't know. He could have giant hands. You never know, right? JD goons today all day. All right. Let's keep moving. Papa says, Nate, off topic, but what are your thoughts on the Elsons buying out Warner Brothers? Oh, fucking what do they not own at this point, right? Discovery to be propaganda for Pedo 47. Yeah, well, I mean, what else have they bought? Warner Brothers, Paramount, TikTok, right? They own like 80% of American media at this point. So fuck it. Why not? We've seen what they've done with TikTok. Ask JD how it's going over on TikTok. Some very specific things you're not allowed to talk about on TikTok anymore, or they'll ban your accounts. JD, how many of your accounts on TikTok have you had banned? I think JD's had like 4 or 5 accounts banned on TikTok for being anti-Semitic. JD's always getting banned for anti-Semitism over on the talk. 50. There you go. And he really has. He showed me all his banned accounts. So yeah, they love to ban you over on the talk if you say anything antiseptic, as they say. Talmud symbolism for the right ear entry makes obedience and status of servant. Butler has me thinking it was a direct message to Trump and a warning. Yeah, I lean into the warning side of things too. I think that makes the most sense to me. Unpopular opinion, I think Palm Beach Pete may have been Jeffrey Epstein's double. And where there's one, there's more. Interesting. Bay says, did you ever see the video of me and Danks reading the Tyler/Lance transcript in Shakespearean style? I have not. You'll have to send that to me, homie. I have not seen that one. That does sound good, though. It's very, very. Speaking of trans, can y'all flex your arms for me? What does that have to do with being trans? I can. Jesse's not here, but I'll flex for you. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Beana Baby says, I asked both of you months ago for your thoughts on CK planning his own fake death and that he might have been betrayed by EK, etc. at the last second. I think they're going to kill me tomorrow. You both said no. Have either of you changed your mind? Jesse has. Yeah, Jesse has. Beana, if you haven't seen it, go over to Jesse's channel. He's got like a 5-part series on the fact he thinks Charlie is alive. Me, no. No, I don't think Charlie's alive. I'm pretty positive they schwacked his ass. Based off of all the things we talked about tonight. Jesse 100% is on board with you though. For sure. What's up, Jamie? All right, Jesse, it's my birthday. Can I get a happy birthday from you and Nate? Well, you get one for me. Also, Nate, did you like the shirt I sent? I did. We got it. Thank you very much. I'll show it on stream next time. Forgot to show that. I got also some other things. There's some other things I forgot to show tonight, but we'll talk about it on Tuesday. And yes, happy birthday, Jamie. Happy birthday. Appreciate you always being here. Thank you very much. And yes, hope you have a great birthday today. I'd ask you how old you are, but I'm not going to do that because you're not allowed to ask the ladies that, you know. Joe says, my love, I effed you more ways than you know because I have full immunity. Well, just saying. Yes. Stay safe, Jesse. Oh, some of these are going to be Jesse's, guys, but we'll read them anyway since Jesse had to bail. Attendees were screaming about Crook being on the roof an hour before the Butler shot was taken. They couldn't get anyone to do anything. True. And people saw him walking around with a firearm earlier in that day, and nobody did anything about it. Isn't that wild? Thank you. Corey, what's up, brother? Says, God bless you both. Hit the like always. Thanks for quality content and viewpoints. The shit that's needed on MSM. Common sense needs to be more common. Hooah! Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you always being here and supporting the channel. Love having you here, man. And yes. Again, thank you. John with a big $50 donation says, now I don't know if these are mine or Jesse's anymore. That's okay. Charlie was dropped by our own government because this is a super chatter, YouTube. All right. Not that I necessarily disagree. Charlie was dropped by our own government because in the end, he would not have agreed with our current administration's path. If you believe different, you have a smooth mega brain. Again, look, not going to say that that's what I believe. It's kind of what I believe. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that on YouTube, even though I kind of believe it too. All right. Justin wins uni decision. Are you talking about Gaethje or Goichi? Justine Goichi? We'll see. Not likely. But I know I'm not watching the fights, unfortunately. So I'm really disappointed about it because Alex Pereira is fighting and he's my favorite fighter. But I am going to stick with my convictions and refuse to participate. Taker. Are you talking about The Undertaker? Love that. Oh, here we go. You're a fucking idiot, bro. Pick a lane. All right. Thanks for donating me money, dude. Did you think that was gonna hurt my feelings? Oh no, random Chip Diesel. Oh, what man puts Diesel in their name? What a fucking douche. You know, this dude's a fat chud too. Thinks he's probably benches like what, fucking 225 for 2. Thinks he's fucking Diesel. Oh boy. Oh, here he goes. You lost a room to room temperature IQ kids in Afghanistan. Ooh, got me. Is Jesse on fire because he's gay? Ooh, you got Jesse too. Thanks for all the money you're donating us, man. Yeah, that's just to really hurt my feelings. Oh no, Jesse ain't gay. No, he's married with kids. All right, can't wait for Nate to roast Chip Diesel. Well, there it was. You had to know it was coming. Yes, Chip Diesel. Also, does that not sound like fucking the most stereotypical gay porn name you've ever seen? Chip Diesel? Like, you know that dude's just getting railed out fucking by dudes from behind, dude. Just taking cock right up the ass. Chip Diesel. Just the gayest porn name I've ever heard in my life, dude. That's probably why he doesn't like the channel, because we're not he's the TDSM. That's what old Chip Diesel's taking. TDSM, getting just pegged by Trump, dude. You know he loves it. All right, anyway, yeah. All right, relax, gay porn guy. Okay, the fact they paved over a crime scene, yeah, I know. Pretty crazy, huh? Which, by the way, you guys know, no problem with the gay community, but we weren't expecting a closeted gay, homosexual, gay porn star to be weighing in on the channel today. But here he is. All right. When I spoke to Hunter before we spoke to Charlie, he definitely gave me weird vibes. Also, he got pissed when I mentioned how weird he was. Yeah. Also, yeah, I forget. You were there. You were there at the event, right? We've talked about that before. Yeah, he's a fucking weirdo. He's also practicing his response beforehand, which was very, very odd. Very odd. Jesse is clearly a limited hangout. He promoted CK is alive and Palm Beach Pete is Epstein. Okay, well, yeah, I think there's a good chance Palm Beach Pete probably is Epstein. By the way, I don't believe in the CK is alive though. But it's not the craziest, really not the craziest theory ever, to be honest. According to I Don't Give a Dom on X, Lance Twiggs' parents' house mortgage paid off November 3rd, 2025, 54 days after Kirk assassination. Now, that could be a coincidence. Okay, could be a coincidence or could not be a coincidence. Who knows? Who knows, right? Mama Ranger says, two of my favorite podcasters, one place. Thanks for always keeping it real. Well, thank you. Thank you. All right, Wonder Nub says, only semi-related today, but he told me it took the EOD team 3 hours to respond to the of course it did, to the White House press dinner. No, we sweep and stay till release. No way they didn't have 4 teams there for the whole fucking cabinet. There you go. They had no EOD teams at the White House. EOD is explosive ordnance disposal guys. These are the people who, if there's a bomb threat or IEDs or anything like that, they're the ones that are going to take care of it. So there you go. Apparently the entire Trump administration, the entire government was all in one building and they didn't even have EOD teams there. So sure, why not? John says, I turned 55 today. I'm a vet and have never considered myself anti-government. Ironically, I do now. And I voted for this fool. Sad and afraid. You rock, big man. Thank you. Look, I mean, that's how I think the majority of us feel right now, man. I'm not really an anti-government guy. I am now, just like you are. Obviously, I worked for the government for a long time. So, but now this government, yeah, I'm pretty black-pilled, just like most of you guys are at this point. Backward scope. He must have been in the Navy. Yeah, Joe. There's that. Do you remember that famous picture of the Navy commander on the boat of the ship, and he's looking through the scope, and it's on backwards? He was like he was a admiral. I think he was a Navy admiral. That's a famous one. Yeah. Bobby says Erica forgave Tyler so quickly because she knows he didn't do it. She did. She forgave Tyler Robinson, but not Drewski. Go figure, huh? You can shoot my husband in the face, and that's okay, but do not, under any circumstances, make fun of me. I guess, Jesse, let me get a bump, dog. The only thing Jesse is high on is the Holy Spirit. Hell yeah. No, Jesse's not high. He's just fucking high energy, bro. High energy. He's always been that way. CO said tonight she was convinced he was still alive at first. Interesting. Yeah, again, I don't think it's the craziest take at all, given how insane the story is. Michael says, big up, boys. Everyone get their popcorn. Shit's about to get weird out here. Project Bluebeam seems to be in full swing. Yeah, we showed that, right? Good will prevail in this fight against the elites. Love and light. Yeah, so talking about Project Bluebeam, I mean, the fact that the president of the United States is posting fucking slop like this on his True Social, we are definitely in the Project Bluebeam era, are we not? Jesus Christ. I'm Driving Faster says, hey, Nate and Jesse, thanks for teaming up and the hard work you guys do. Well, thank you, brother. Thank you. Ceasefire signed. Look who it is. Uh-oh. We should probably. All right. I don't really like the idea of BB donating me money. That's a little sketchy, but BB says, ceasefire signed? Not if I have something to do with it. Oh, no. This is what I was expecting. BB Netanyahu says, take this money from AIPAC. May it go towards your calf implant fund. Oh, shit. All right. You guys got to remember, I'm going to donate $10 of this stream to Palestine. I think I got to keep my AIPAC tracker at 0, guys. I got to keep the AIPAC tracker at 0. So yeah, I'm gonna be donating $10 here to some type of Palestine charity, just to make sure we stay on an even keel here. But thank you, BB. I appreciate you being here, sort of. Joe says, starving Japan of oil and our other natural resources was a precursor to World War II. Just saying 100%. Yes, it was. It was literally why they attacked the United States. Yep. Oh, boy. I need Trump to invade my neighbors. Time now. Okay, that's $15. $15 from the APAC lobby that we're going to have to make sure we donate. Don't let me forget. Thank you, BB. You guys are so fun. Well, thank you. Thank you. There will be no new, excuse me, Bobby says there will be no one new in our government as long as APAC exists. Yeah, well, we've seen that, right? Because who were the only non-APAC candidates? Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and they are all being wiped out. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. All right. BB's back. All right. This is $25 now. It says, don't worry, Nate. When Global War of Terror 2.0 kicks off, we'll send the same amount of people to the support that we did last time. Yes. Thank you, BB. Thank you. One second. You guys make me laugh, which is making my sinuses even worse. Okay, thanks, BB. Appreciate it, and appreciate the 0 people that you sent to support us in that one. Love to see it. Okay, big man. Epstein is alive. Charlie is not. What world we live in? Thanks, Taker. Hell yeah. Well, I actually agree with you. I think probably, that's kind of what I believe on that. So, sure, I'm with you. Danny says, "What is even the point of a deal if BB is still pulling the strings?" Good point. Using our weapons for genocide, blackmailing the shit out of the Epstein class. Yeah, I guess. Again, that's just I don't see a deal ever happening, but who knows? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. On the bright side, we ain't mass. We're not. Are you sure we're not? All right. JD said out booger. Oh, it's not a booger, man. This is my hair. I think we're good, right? Oh, yeah, that's just hair. That's just my mustache. We're good. No, it's just my JD texted me. He said I have a booger in my mustache. That's just my hair. I got blonde hairs mixed in, so sometimes it looks that way. Okay. That's the homie right there. That's how you have good friends. You have good friends that watch the stream and will text you to make sure you don't look silly. That's the homies right there. Okay, let's keep moving. This is too much, dude. All right. BB Netanyahu says, actually, Nate, you're wrong. The United States needs to nation build in the Middle East again. Sorry, I don't know why this is making me laugh so hard. Having here. Oh, because the comments are super funny too. Okay. Let's keep moving, man. Fucking shit, dude. Oh my God, dude. All right. You guys are brutal. Nate, how many Kofefi drinkers does it take to screw in a light bulb? The answer might tell us how many mega to send to Iran. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, dude. All right. Send in BB Nutton. Yahoo. Okay. Katie, what's up, Katie? Katie says, did you see the reporting that Iran had senior psychologist on their negotiating team because Dementia Don was acting so crazy in his communications with them? I'd like a Lego movie about this part of the New Deal. No, but I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked to hear that because, again, I don't even know how you negotiate with this fucking guy. And again, just a dementia-ridden fucking psychopath. And again, the first negotiations, we literally killed their negotiators. So it's pretty tough to negotiate in good faith after that. Thank you, Katie. Thank you. Alex says, why has the ICC been so quiet? There's been a list of war crimes by now. Well, they're not regarding BB, but they are, for the most part, regarding Trump, which I don't know. I guess they don't have the balls. They don't have the balls to call out Trump because he's a psychopath and he'll come bomb their countries probably. So they're probably laying low for now, right? They're like, hey, Trump will literally come bomb us. So we should probably chill. I don't know. Not only is Erica unfit, if he wanted her as CEO, it would be to continue his plans. She likely accepted the $35 million from BB that Charlie turned down. Wasn't it? Well, it was way more than that, wasn't it? I thought it was. I thought it was like 150 million. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought it was way more than 35. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But I thought it was like in the hundreds of millions, right? The one that Charlie turned down. Wasn't it like 125 million? Somebody in the chat will know. I don't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, 100. Yeah, there we go. 150 million. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yep, that's what I thought. So I think it was even more than that. I'm pretty sure they accepted it though. Go figure. Days after. Liberty Troll says, as an auditor, I'd like to know how you think the First Amendment auditors are exposing our government and to what extent. Do you watch 1A Audits audit with me? First Amendment auditors are exposing our government? I don't know enough about this, man. I don't know enough about this. I'm not actually aware of this. Do I watch First Amendment audits? No, I don't. I'll look into it though. That actually sounds super interesting. First Amendment audits. Because again, they're constantly fucking with me. But I'll look into that. Thank you, man. I just Googled it, so I'm gonna check some of those videos out after. Yeah, I'm not aware of First Amendment auditors, but I'll check it out. Looks cool. Look up pics of Lance pumping gas, black hat, shoulder length hair, shades, exact match of the first suspect description that was sent over radio in Utah. Yeah. I think I don't know. I've always thought Lance seems way more guilty to me than Tyler. But again, I don't know. But as for which one is more of a, which one reeks more of like an MK Ultra Patsy to me, it's Lance. But who knows? Carl says, dude, these clearly deranged individuals saying that you're lying or clearly struggling. Keep the amazing content coming, brother. Love you and Jesse together. Awesome dynamic. You rock, bro. Yeah, I mean, I'm not purposely lying about anything, but I don't think that, if you don't agree, well, if you're MAGA, then, you believe Donald Trump. Then if you believe Donald Trump, then you're calling me a liar. You're in an uphill battle on that one. Yeah, uphill battle on that one. God. Oh, at least this is going to JD. All right, BB. JD has now been implicated. JD is now on APAC Tracker as well. This is good news. This is not just us. BB says, on behalf of APAC, we donate this money to JD's Future Legal Troubles Fund. So, is JD about to have future legal troubles, BB? What? Is this because of his anti-Semitism? Is JD going to face some legal action because of all his anti-Semitism on TikTok? Cool, that's scary. But at least JD is now on APAC Tracker as well. Me and JD both. I think I'm at like $55 on my APAC Tracker. So I'm going to make sure I give that money again to a Palestinian charity of some sort. Okay, you misunderstood my comment when I said TPUSA is intentionally being destroyed, meaning they work for the government. Okay. Now, this I agree with on you. I did I thought you were saying the opposite of that. And the government is slowly destroying big organizations that pose a threat to them. Yes. Okay, I agree with you on that. 100% agree with you on that. Yeah, I must have misunderstood what you meant. But and the way I thought you were saying is that TPUSA is being destroyed by the government. But no, I see what you're saying. And I agree with you on that. BB Netanyahu says, how much gotta donate for you to endorse the war in Iran? Well, BB, it's a lot more than $65. A lot more than $65, okay? You're gonna need to up those numbers, baby. Appreciate you, though. Thank you for being such a staunch supporter of the channel. So we got that going for us. But yeah, it's going to cost you a lot more than $65, brother. But I appreciate you nonetheless. Okay. Hey, Trump rumored to be sending ICE to New York. And yeah, we're going to talk about this on Tuesday. Yep. En masse, my guess, because he got booed. You're giving up the game on the section on Tuesday. But yeah, at Madison Square Garden. Also, have you heard how poorly we are treating participating World Cup countries, denying visas and cavity searches? Yes, I have. And a lot of people are saying to the United States, why the fuck are you hosting the World Cup if you don't want us coming into your country? So yeah, I have seen that. But we're going to talk about all that on Tuesday. I have seen it though. And like I said, brother, I don't, but I do have it written down. I'm going to start watching this. Haven't heard of this before until you mentioned it. Maybe Butler and CK were complex scams in which inside people and victims thinks it's fake, but it's not. Sniper and Butler missed because DJT flinched. Yeah, maybe. That'd be pretty lucky. All right, we got Russia in the chat. I don't read Russian, but thank you. Not sure what you said. Maybe somebody can translate that. Cody says, hey, brother, I want to go through SFAS, and I'm 35, be 36 in 6 months. I'm in good shape, but I have AFib, and would I pass the airborne physical? Any advice? I'm going to go through the National Guard pipeline. Brother, you are old. You are old. I've seen it done. Okay. I've seen dudes as old as late 30s make it through the Q course, but it is extremely, extremely rare. I'm telling you, homie, it is a young man's game. Okay. And I mean that is just the Special Forces qualification course is 2 years of physical beatdown, and being able to recover and keep up with the pace of that is very hard to do in your mid to late 30s. Is it doable? Yes. But you are at a huge disadvantage. Okay. So just keep that in mind. You could be plenty physically fit enough for it, but are you going to maintain that physical fitness over years of having your body destroyed? If you saw in that, you might not have seen, but I mean, in one of the ads we had earlier, it said pictures of me after surgeries. I mean, like I just completely reconstructed. Both my shoulders are completely reconstructed, multiple back surgeries, multiple knee surgeries on both knees. So just keep in mind, man, it's a young man's game. So just be prepared for that. The National Guard route, I think, is a great choice. Because that way, if you don't make it, then you're not locked into being an active duty soldier. So, but is it doable? Yes. Could you do it? Yes. Are you going to be at a huge disadvantage? Yes. Just so keep those things in mind. Also, you have some advantages. You are older, you're more mature, bigger, stronger, different things like that. But weigh your positives and negatives on that. All right. 35's real late. All right. Why did Jesse subscribe to TMZ when they laughed and clapped at Charlie's death? But hey, nothing surprises me when a man sells NFTs. What? Subscribe to TMZ? Like the media channel? I don't know. Am I supposed to know what any of this means? Sorry, that would have been a question for Jesse. I'm not aware of who he subscribed to, nor do I care if he subscribed to TMZ. Anyway, Burning Moose. This is my Friday night. I guess I'm getting old. Beats $100 bar tabs. Thank you for your Thank you for your work and service. Hey, glad to have you here, man. Glad to have you here. And yeah, save money. Nixon 5. We'll see. Said yeah because you were there, which is also why I believe Charlie's dead. So got to disagree with Jesse. Yeah, I mean you watched it with your own eyes, right? So you got a different perspective than the rest of us, having been there and seen it with your own eyes. Pretty wild. Army Cav Scout here, 4-7 and 361. Much love, brother. I keep you in my prayers till the hall. Well, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Are you currently in? If so, hey, stay safe, bro. Stay safe. SF killed a bunch of Tren de Aragua today. Did they? 7th group? I haven't heard about this. I'll definitely look into it. I'm all about that. I'm all about fighting the cartels. That's something that I actually do support. And it's the one thing we're not doing. Oh, fuck. Anyway, call sign Man Bear Pig. What's up, brother? He said, you beat this dead horse, but I had a IDD on my second deployment, so I know firsthand how these dogs are trained. No properly trained dog would have missed that rifle. Whole thing's a fucking joke. Yeah, so Man Bear Pig's talking about bomb dogs, right? That's what you'll hear them called. Not being able to smell a 30-06 that was fired, hours before that. Not a thing, as he says here. It's just not a thing. But part of the slop we're supposed to believe. Thank you, brother. Just a theory. Blonde and gray facial hair is from eating the good. Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. I don't need to. I think it has to do with the fact that I'm Scandinavian. My family comes from Sweden. That's why I have blonde and gray facial hair. But I'm not going to get into that on the show. Okay. My wife wouldn't appreciate that. AJ says, just wanted to say I got my order. The shirts and hat are excellent quality and they look great. Hell yeah, brother. Glad to hear it, man. Glad to hear it. I looked it up. By the way, Trump needs 2/3 of Senate approval to leave NATO. Okay, there you go. We talked about that on Tuesday, right? Where we weren't sure what it actually is a requirement to leave NATO, but there you go. So is that going to happen? No, I don't see 2/3 of the Senate voting to leave NATO. But there you go. Bobby says, good show tonight, Nate. Had me thinking, laugh my ass off. Jesse, JD, you need to do one together soon. Yeah, for sure. So I know we have so much stuff going on. We're currently renovating the gym out today. And then I'm trying to get the second part of the podcast studio set up. And so we can start doing the in-person guests, which again, JD be the first one for that because he lives down the street. But we're working on it. And then I'm gonna get all the guys on. I think Dan from Heavy Duty Country is going to be out here later in the summer, and then Jesse hopefully as well soon too. So we'll get all the guys on in person here soon. Again, it's just like, yeah. Even though we've already done a ton of content together, I can't take the risk. JD's too anti-Semitic, dude. JD's too anti-Semitic. I can't risk it. I can't risk it. Yeah. We're gonna get something cool going here. Again, I know. It's not, guys. There's so much shit with this new house that we've been putting everything together. It's just piece by piece by piece. Okay. We're trying to get the gym done so I can start doing. I'm thinking about starting a new channel. Oops. I don't know what to call it or what the framing will be, but where we just do like all of the shit that we don't do on this channel, right? So that's where we're gonna start doing like all the fitness content, firearms content, like a bunch of different shit like that. Now that I'm gonna have it all at my house, so I'm not sure what to call it yet. I really like what JP Sears was doing. Let me show you his new channel. Not that I'm gonna like steal his idea, but I think it's a really cool channel, and I think it's really relevant. What's his new? What is it called? It's not Awaken with JP. The Better Man Project. That's what it is. This is a really cool idea. Better Man Project. Here we go. Also, I love JP, dude. He's so nice. So let's shout him out. Also, we used his content earlier, so we should shout him out. And I'll show you guys. So here's a pinned comment. He just started this channel, so if you guys subscribe bomb him, he's not going to know where it came from, and it'll be super cool. But this is his new channel. Oh wait, no, this isn't it. That's a different Better Man Project. This is the one we want.
What it is.
Better Man Project with JP Spears. That's his. So let's actually put the right the right one in there, huh? All right. Now we'll put it in the pinned comment. There we go. So anyway, I really like this where, I mean, what JP's doing is just sort of, giving knowledge that he's learned about fitness and being a dad and different shit like that. And I think this is a really cool idea. So I'm not going to like steal this idea, but this type of idea where we can do like all of this type of content all on a separate channel. So that's probably something we're going to try to kick off this summer as well. So you guys that are into fitness and into, firearm stuff, I'll be able to knowledge transfer all the stuff I've learned over the years. And we'll talk about different stuff like that too. Yeah. Vlog type stuff. Sure. So that's the next goal too, but we're working on getting all the stuff finished, right? I got my gun range built, 200-meter gun range right out here behind the building. And then got the podcast studio, half of it done. And then we're getting the gym in here, right back here. And so we'll be able to do all this cool stuff. Anyway, sorry, I digress. We'll get to it. Anyway, yeah, go subscribe to JP's new channel. I think it's super good, actually, by the way. But anyway, it's in the pinned comment. So help the homie out because he's one of the nicest dudes ever. Okay. You don't know what a First Amendment auditor is. That's actually crazy. You have years of catching up to do. Now, First Amendment auditing. Oh, how'd he get in here?
Oh,
You put the link in the chat, bro. Like, why would you put the link in the chat if you didn't want me to join?
Oh, I didn't. Did I?
You pinned it, bro.
Oh.
Why would you pin it?
I meant to pin JP's YouTube channel.
Dude, you know I'm retarded. You know if I see it, I'm going to jump in, bro. I got problems.
Well, I just all of a sudden saw you enter the chat. I'm like, what the fuck? How did JD? Oh no, we got everybody coming
as soon as I saw a way to enter the chat, I took my pants off and I hit the button, dog. That's it.
All
That's
right.
what I do.
Okay. Now, whoever that was, somebody else tried to join. Now I have a section to where they have to. I have to accept for them to come in. But I'm glad you came in first. No, you
can kick me off. I just saw it and I wanted to be a smartass. I've been trolling your chat is fucking amazing, by the way. I've been trolling you guys the entire time, and you guys have been fucking awesome. You guys are like absolute fucking solid people.
I love how you were the first one to just immediately came in.
Oh yeah, dude. No, I'm quick.
Which is good because if I would have had some random person just all of a sudden show up, I would have been like, "What? Israel's just got me. They got me, dude."
Some dude with no shirt on and giant titties and the dong just flailing like your channel's nuked, bro. You know,
immediately. Oh, yeah. That's funny. So I must have had. So I copied that to email it to Jesse earlier. I must have not actually copied JP Sears' link, and that should have been. That was my old copy from like an hour ago. Anyway, that's super funny.
I'll get out of your way, bro. I just wanted to be a smartass.
I don't know who this is. Somebody else is coming in.
That shit's lit, dog.
All right, we gotta get this one wrapped up because it's gonna spiral.
I'm out, bro. I appreciate you.
All right. Anyway. All right, guys, we're almost here. That's super funny, actually. All of a sudden, I just saw JD enter the chat. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Okay, my bad, guys. That's funny. All right, have you seen MSNBC ask Graham about his sexting comparison to Epstein? Insane mainstream media trying to take him down. Yeah, look. So he was sexting some girl years ago, like completely consensual, adult relationship. I don't know why I'm supposed to be upset about that. Sorry. Seems a little silly. All right. PBD co-host Vinny said in an old video he was kicking. Yeah, that dude's full of shit. He's a fucking liar. Stolen valor, 100%. Look up his service. He was only an Air Force MP who never deployed. Yep, he's full of shit. He's a fucking liar. Just like everybody on that podcast is. They're all grifters and liars. Including Vinny. Yeah, little stolen valor chud. If you've seen this, Vinny, yeah, sorry. Green Beret's calling you out. That's the way it goes. I'm late. Did I miss the midget links portion? No, we forgot to do that. So I'm going to do that Tuesday. I'm going to show you. I'll bring the videos of me and JD at that Tuesday. I forgot to do it. 6 months said, okay, everything is a mess. So let's look at something good. How's the new property? Well, we were just talking about that. Are you loving it? Still no goats. Thanks for what you do, Nate. Aloha from Kauai. Yeah, it's been fantastic. It's a lot of work. But again, we're grinding our way through it, and we're almost on the back end of having everything set up. So we got the second part of the podcast studio here to finish. I've got a lot of the stuff. We got the new microphones, lighting, different stuff like that. I just need to get it all put together, and then the gym's being renovated right now. We are putting in concrete, and then we're going to start doing it. All right. Thank you, Sixes Mom. Appreciate you. All right. Do you think the e-files release might actually drain the swamp? Hollow for all the work. No. It's doing nothing. There's zero accountability. Not a single person's been arrested. It basically is just we talked about this earlier. It's just them bragging. They're just bragging about it at this point. No, I don't. I don't think there will be any accountability. Will Patrick Bet David ever be held accountable for his alleged pyramid scheme called PHP and the Goliath Venture scandal exposed by CoffeeZilla? I don't know anything about his insurance business other than what I've seen from content like this. Apparently, it's a giant pyramid scheme. I don't know enough about it, but would not be shocked. So, but again, I don't know any more than you do based off of just the stories I've seen on it. John says, have you looked into the bricks and minifigs debacle going on with the exposure in the corrupt police force in Utah? I haven't heard about this. Seems to be a running gag on how, well, dude, Utah is one of the most corrupt states in the country. A lot of people don't know that. And especially their police force. I learned about how corrupt Utah's police department is through the Mike Glover situation. And the Utah Police Department is Utah's law enforcement. Sorry if you're a law enforcement officer in Utah, but insanely corrupt, the shit they got going on over there. I didn't realize how corrupt Utah was until I started learning about some of that stuff. But yeah, Utah's wild when it comes to corruption. Red Devil says, supporting the find a cure for cucks with puss nuts. Oh, God, we still got people trying to come in. Oh my God. I'm just going to ban you guys if you come in here. Wait, what's going on? Is that not taking you guys to, why is this, is that link still not right? Oh, it's my StreamYard link. Why didn't you guys tell me it's just still sitting there? It's supposed to be this. Where is it? There we go. What the fuck? I've just had it just pinned there this entire time. That's hilarious. Why didn't you guys tell me that? Oh, you did? You guys did tell me? Now the pinned comment is JP's YouTube channel, right? Is that taking you to JP's YouTube channel now? Yes, now it is. Okay. You guys did. Yeah, my bad. My bad. I'm like, how the fuck are people still coming in here to the lobby? All right. Sorry if you got banned, but I can't have random people showing up. Anyway, okay, now JP's YouTube channel's over there. So make sure you go over there and throw him a subscribe on his brand new channel. Okay. All right. Anyway, I know you guys probably did. Sorry, I didn't realize what you guys were saying. I was like, where the fuck are how these fucking people keep coming in here? Okay. BB's back. We're going to update AR-67-1 and allow American troops to wear the Israeli flag instead of the American flag. So you guys know AR-67-1 is like the uniform standards, uniform and grooming standards in the military. And so, yeah, you can wear a Israeli flag now if you want. Is American Thor channel dead? For now. I get asked this all the time. It is. It's just a time management thing. I just don't have time right now to put content over there. I do want to get back into it because there's nothing funnier than just making fun of fake alpha male douchebags, and I think I'm good at it. But I just don't have time right now. But I think we are gonna get back to it. By fly swatter, I don't ever have flies in here. That was the first one. It's the first one I've had in here. Hey, Nate, I'm 37 and 5'6", a solid 270 pounds. Jesus. I drink beer every day and thinking about joining the Army, maybe Special Forces. What do you think? Great show. 5'6", 270. You need to lose 100 pounds. Maybe more. No, yeah, 100 pounds. You need to lose 100 pounds before you consider it. 100 pounds. So, until you lose 100 pounds, don't even fucking think about it, homie. Not going to happen. Ava exposed the Google Trend searches from overseas surrounding CK line up with Adelson's planes arriving. Okay, interesting. Here's BB says, oh God, dude. GWAT 2.0 was promised to us 4,000 years ago. Well, I thought it was 3,000, but okay, BB, we're getting a little over the top now. It's a duo. We're doing an all day Schneider. No. We're almost done. Sup, JD? Love you, bro. Yeah, we had JD. We had some. Everybody's showing up. Jesse showed up. JD showed up. Charlie Kirk steps off a dish-shaped object and proclaims himself the Messiah. On June 26, God, I hope not. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with anything like this. Wait till 2027. First ever donation. Just want to share how much I appreciate you guys. I often wish you were live more or more pre-records. Maybe. So here's the deal. I only live stream twice a week, sometimes an extra one here and there, but my live streams are long. My live streams are almost always 3-4 hours. And so it's just too much for me to do. More than 2 a week is just way too much. What I could do is I could do like a lot of people do, and I could shorten the show down. If I shorten the show down to an hour and a half and then did it 5 days a week, could do that, but I don't know. I kind of like doing it this way. I like being here with you guys for longer shows. And so, yeah, right for right now, that's, again, because the shows are so long, I can't do more than 2 or so a week. It's just, yeah. And also I have to build the shows, right? Like, as you guys see, my shows, my shows are not in the super chat portion. It's this way, but my shows are not just like, and I'm not knocking any other creator at all. Everybody does their own thing, but my shows are not like, I'm not like a Nick Fuentes where I sit down, turn the camera on, and I come and just talk to the camera. I have tons of, clips and editing and everything that goes into the show. So these shows do take, they're pretty big. I got a lot of not involvement. What I'm thinking of, a lot of time investment that goes into building the show out. And so I wouldn't be able to do it every day anyway. So, anyway, that's why we don't do more shows is this is a lot. It's a lot of work, and not complaining. I'm not saying I'm, not able to do it. I'm just saying that's why we don't have more often. Volros 5 VFT gifted memberships. Thank you so much. For those of you who just got those, we have some great emojis in the chat. Make sure you know that you can use those emojis. Munchkin emojis, all kinds of emojis. Adam Homaway is running for Congress. Army Orgron, an insider, is calling him a terrorist. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're having to work around the algorithm here because he provided aid in Gaza last year. Jewish Insider. Oh yeah, the same organization that did a huge hit piece on me. Yeah, of course they did. And then here's BB. Your next channel should be called American J and just put out pro-Israel content. That actually would be funny. That actually would be funny and super confusing for people if I had a second channel and it was just 100% pro-Zionist, MAGA, Trump, and TPUSA content. That's all I did was just grift, but it was on a completely separate channel. And I just dressed up and wore a wig, but still had the same background. Like, what are you guys talking about? I'm not Nate. Okay. Thanks for being a real one. Love the channel. Thank you. All right. We made it to the end. All right. We did it. All right. It's been a fun one. A lot of laughs tonight on this one. Fun guests. I told you I was going to bring some guests on. Wasn't expecting both of them. Was expecting Jesse and JD on this one. All right. So thank you all so much. We still got almost 5,000 people in here at the end. Thank you all for sticking with me. Thank you to the moderators. Thanks to all the regular viewers. Thanks to the new viewers. If you are new, hope you come back for more later. And thanks to all the super chats as well. Hope you guys had a great night. Also, Friday night, if you're going out after this, please be safe. Please be safe. All right. Don't drink and drive. Don't do anything crazy. We will be back on Tuesday for our regular scheduled show. All right. So hope you guys had fun on this one, and I will catch you all back. Oh yeah. We're going to make sure we do that. We'll pick a good charity. We'll look at that Tuesday. Let's look at a good charity we could donate to live on Tuesday. Remind me on Tuesday, guys. All right. That's going to do it, guys. Catch y'all in the next one. We'll go grab some dinner. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. Catch y'all in the next one.